they must have did something to StreamYard. They must have updated it or something. They got different options now. It's like when you hit the go live button, it has a "Are you sure" button now. It's like they didn't have that before, so I was like, yeah,
It's
okay.
getting like that's like a Windows option.
Yeah, exactly.
when you would compare Apple versus Mac versus PC, Apple would be like, sure, do it. Versus PC would be like, are you sure you want to do it? And then you hit OK. You really sure you want to do this? Like,
yeah, like I clicked it one time already. That means I really want to go.
Are you sure you want to do it? And then you hit OK.
All right, all right. Right now it is episode 158, First and Framerates. Before we get into it, let everybody know we really appreciate everybody who's been giving us support lately. Absolutely phenomenal. We really appreciate y'all. Everybody, I hope you guys are being safe. It goes without saying personally, and I probably speak for everybody in the on the podcast. If you're out around people, put on a goddamn mask. I mean, just for the sanity of other people, because some people go haywire if you walk next to them without a mask. Just put one on. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about the Madden ratings. We're going to talk about the Washington football team scandal. They got some real problems in the front office. We're going to talk about that. You can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. If you haven't checked out any of our other stuff, or you want to go back to listen outside of YouTube, you can go there. Also, you can catch us on Discord. A few people have joined. Appreciate that. Once again, I'm slacking. I haven't been on there enough. Sorry. But I'll make a promise that I will be. Other than that, let's go with the intros. DJ, how you been?
Well, I've been doing all right. I'm just relaxing in this new gaming chair that just came in. I wasn't even expecting it today, and it arrived. My sister told me it arrived, and I spent time. I think I started putting it together around 6. So
you get it from Amazon?
Yep. I've been getting everything from Amazon. I'm like,
Amazon's been on it.
Especially since there's a possibility that, if things work out the way I would hope that they work out based on the scandal, that Bezos would be the owner of the team. So it would fit, especially with the new headquarters that's been there in the Virginia area for quite some time. But yeah, looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that came out.
That's coming out tonight at midnight.
Okay.
So I'm going to be streaming. So y'all want to, like, by midnight, if y'all still up, I'm going to be streaming Ghost of Tsushima. I have a hard time pronouncing that, but it's like actually no, it's not even Tsushima. The actual Japanese people have been saying Tsushima.
Tsushima, okay, yeah, because they talk a little faster. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So outside of you having success with Amazon, I've been having success with Amazon and eBay. Bill's had a problem with Amazon before. Was it Amazon
boy.
Xbox?
Man, don't even get me started today, man. Don't get me started. Fucking, I haven't ordered shit from Amazon since then, bro. Like, I guess I technically haven't needed anything, but I haven't ordered anything from there either, so I don't know how they're operating currently. But
all right. So how you been though?
I've been good. I've just been working on my music. Just trying to up my followers, and build my fan base, and it's basically what I've been working on the past few days. Honestly, that's about it.
Okay. Yeah, same old, man. I've been working. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday, so I need to step my game up once again. I may just call off of work tomorrow. They didn't give me the day off, and I asked for it like a week and a half ago. They're playing games, so I haven't called in only one time this year because I had a COVID scare. I think you remember the time I told you guys I had chest pains.
Yeah,
I took the day off because of that, and that's the only time I took off all year. So they better not say nothing if I call in tomorrow.
Yeah, they better stop tripping.
That's what I'm saying. It's been almost 7 months, and I haven't called in, so they better shut up. But I don't know. My boss might be listening to this.
Wow.
Hey, I got 3 sick days. Shoot, I got 3 out the whole year. I could take one off. But nevertheless, he does listen to the podcast, believe it or not. Oh, but I think he listened to it on iTunes like the day after. So
or you'll walk in, or you'll call, and then he'll be like, "I heard what you said."
Right, exactly. I downloaded the podcast last night. What are you talking about? You ain't sick. Your wife is home on her birthday. I was like, yeah, I am. So,
wow.
Nevertheless, man, let's
Trying to
jump
be the
right
black
into it,
Kevin.
Bills, I'm gonna ask you again, man. You need me to send you a PVR so you can put some product up on the channel,
man. You know what? Y'all can come hear me twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, on the First and Framerates podcast. That's gonna be about all y'all get right now. You can thank Xbox for that.
I know, man. You're a busy dude, though, so I understand, man.
Dude, in other words, Bill's just like, fucking pay me.
Right. No, I mean, look, if I still had a PS4, I'd be putting out a shit ton of content, but
yeah, because Xbox don't put out sound.
Garbage. I mean, who wants to sit and watch an hour stream of me just fucking showing slow clips of shit that nobody knows what's going on? It's like
nobody's talking, you can't hear nothing. Like, all right, crazy. What's going on, Chris Thomas? Appreciate you coming through. Everybody else who's here already, we do appreciate it. Hit the like button, man. You know, one thing, hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe, man, because definitely the more subs we get, the more we'll be seen in other recommendations of people who are not even listening to us, so it helps. Let's get right into it. Which one y'all want to go first? Because these are you two guys' topics. I'm just going to sit back and listen because I didn't have a topic myself. So
let's get the Washington rapist out of the way.
Wow.
The cat's out of the bag, or out of the, the cat's out of the bag now.
You know what? And it's kind of, a thing where I don't even know if this logo is even appropriate because they do associate wolves with predators. And yeah,
I didn't read because I haven't read it yet, but I mean, I've seen the headlines, so
I'm like, I really am just gonna summarize it. There's no need to really go into like the weeds of it because it basically is like 15 women have come forward and have said between a span of 2006 and 2019 have had incidents of sexual harassment and let's see, unwanted approaches and just workplace harassment, like in general, with key individuals like the head of scouting, what's his name, Alex Santos, or
they got names?
Yeah, they got names. What was it? Let's see.
I'm looking at right now. It says Alex Santos, Larry Michael.
Larry Michael is the bigger name because he's actually the voice. He was the voice of the Redskins. He just retired abruptly, and the organization, they knew this article was going to be released. And let me link people to a readable. You don't have to subscribe to.
Dude caught out soon as like, yeah, this article's coming. I'm gonna pinch it. I'm out.
That's basically what he did. So I'm like,
the only thing I'll say about some of these, man. I'm
like, it sounds like it sounds like it's the typical sexual harassment situation culture type of thing as far as what pop up, what was said.
I gotta let me shut up. Go ahead.
But okay, but the big thing with Larry Michael is that he was actually caught on a hot mic describing one intern who was in college at the time. And he was caught on a hot mic. I forgot what did he say? He was like, he basically has an ass fetish. Because that's what he kept talking about. It's like, man, she got a fat ass and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And he got caught on a hot mic saying it. And I think this person, they complained about it because they caught wind of what he had said. And the attorneys at the time, or the legal side of the organization, the file was on a hard drive, and they gave it to the legal team. The legal team gave the hard drive back with the file missing. So, but the file was stored on is apparently, according to the latest statement from the Redskins organization, or the team formerly known as the Redskins, is that it's on file in their legal department, that hard drive. But I'm like, Michael was definitely a big one. The Richard Mann, who was the assistant director of pro personnel, he sending lewd text messages to female coworkers and whatnot. There was another guy, Dennis Green, who was more known for his explosive temper than inappropriate explosive tempers in the workplace is inappropriate behavior, but he was no more for that than he was the sexual harassment portion of it. His main link to a past event had to do with the cheerleader scandal in Costa Rica, where they had the cheerleaders, they flew the cheerleaders to Costa Rica, they had a photo shoot, and Green was one of the people that was around that allegedly sent those cheerleaders to clients' rooms and stuff, pimping cheerleaders out, as was rumored in the earlier tweets and whatnot. Then there's a Mitch Gershman, and let's see, this person, he would just make inappropriate comments. That what is now considered inappropriate, as far as inappropriate comments, it could be like compliments, innocent compliments, but if it's unwanted, it's not good. So, and of course, he denied those allegations. And I think at the end of the day, the main woman, the woman's name, the main person, Emily Applegate, is the main one that's the face of this whole article. She literally gave a nugget of possibly Bruce Allen kind of seeing that this was going on, and then to the top, Daniel Schneider kind of leading this type of culture, not really knowing the exact details of what these other guys did, but kind of because Dennis Green, who was a cheerleader in college, a male cheerleader in college, they said that one meeting, Daniel Schneider told him to do cartwheels and whatnot, would always like embarrass him in front of his coworkers because he was just like, oh, you were only a male cheerleader. Well, do cartwheels and blah 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 in certain sales executive meetings and whatnot. So there was a hint that Bruce Allen possibly knew about this, but Daniel Schneider definitely looks like even though he didn't know about the exact details of what went on, obviously everything starts from the top and rolls downhill. This is the culture that he's been ahead of since day one, honestly. Especially according to Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey is like, the first time Daniel Snyder even had a meeting with the team, it was a hostile work environment.
So Champ Bailey even said something about this as well.
Not in the article. Not in the article. Okay, I just remember that, in the past, Champ Bailey talked about when Daniel Snyder, the first meeting that the team had with Daniel Snyder established a hostile working environment right then and there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that.
So,
yeah, that's kind of crazy. Bills, what are your thoughts? I know you probably been saying this. I just got back, so what are your thoughts about all this stuff with Washington? Because they got more problems than we thought they had in the beginning.
Oh man, see, I don't want to come across as somebody who just kind of throws allegations out as bullshit, but going based on past precedent, these allegations remind me a lot of what happened to NFL Network with those NFL players. And it's funny because those allegations all turned out to be utterly ridiculous and false.
Yeah, they kind of got out of hand after the longer the stories got.
So I'm trying to reserve judgment. At the same time, the more I sort of read a couple of these allegations, kind of seems like perhaps these business relationships got a bit more than business, and then they tried to make a joke, and then the chick found an opportunity to kind of, in a way play victim after the fact, even though back then maybe his joke wasn't nearly as serious as she's making it out to be now. And like I said, I don't know if that's quite the case, but it just seems like a lot of these examples are things that might be that way. Now, the things that are done in the work environment, whether it's consent or not, keep it out of the workplace.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the overall lesson from
Definitely.
this is that you got to be on your P's and Q's when you're at work. You can't be doing
Yeah,
shit like this.
I agree
yeah,
with that 100%.
yeah. The thing about workplaces, it could be as innocent as it sounds, even when it goes both ways. They could be smiling, but soon as one party says, "I feel some type of way," everything's out the window at that point.
Because
It's-
here's
it-
my, well, I was gonna say, like, let me give you an example. The stapler thing, right? So that joke, maybe when they were on good terms, let's say, was like, oh, haha, whatever. And then now maybe they're not on such great terms, and now it's that was some bullshit back then, even though that's not how it was perceived at that time. So I'm just saying a lot of these
especially how the way things are now, like you can dig up somebody's past and then what it was meant back in the 2006 definitely won't mean the same in 2020. So
because you could have sex with a female 4 or 5 times, right? And then the one time that y'all were in the car and you were kind of trying to assert yourself and she was pulling away, that third time she pulls away, even though you're joking, she might go, and now that y'all aren't on good terms, she could call that sexual harassment.
And all the other times y'all be intimate means nothing.
And that's why a lot of the times I say, a lot of these things, a lot of these allegations end up just, the overall movement of Me Too and that sort of thing just kind of loses stock with me because I see through a lot of it. This isn't exactly that situation because, like I said, I need more information, but I'm just looking at a lot of these on the surface, and it's sounding very familiar to what happened to NFL Network. That's really all I have to say.
And then on top of that, I'm like, did you see the text messages that were in here?
No, I didn't see him. What?
No. I'm talking about Bills.
Oh,
because there were text messages associated with of some of the people, and what some of the women, they did admit, they was like, look, a lot of stuff at the time we did normalize because there was pressure. I think overall there was pressure from up top, not just from them, but pressure on everybody to do their jobs or keep quiet about anything that pops up. Because one, they did sign an NDA to not talk negative, which I think every player, employee, whatever in a sports team, they sign those things because they get suspended over stuff like that. Sometimes cut, fired, whatever. But the pressure from up top to perform or you get fired kind of leads to situations like this. Not 100%, but
there are times I agree.
Each person felt like there was pressure. Like I forgot. I don't know if it was Dennis Green or Gresham that I think the lady noted, Applegate noted that there was pressure on him to sell out the premium seating, and that the on-field performance of the team made it harder and harder each and every year, and he would get yelled at by Schneider. It was just like, what the hell you expect to do? And it was almost like you got to get it done by any means necessary. So you would see stuff like the comments, and not excusing these comments because still you need to keep these comments out the workplace. But I could see the chain where it's just like, oh, by any means necessary, then that means, okay, well, dress like this when we have clientele come in so we can get this sale. But, stuff, tactics like that. I'm like, those are old sales tactics.
I was about to say that, like, it sounds good now, but in 2020 and 2019, that's not flying at all.
Oh no, not at all.
I mean, the workplace culture in general has just changed so vastly
and fast too.
Even from when I first started working, I'm only 27 years old. I started working when I was 18. Even in that short time, it's just changed. You can't joke the same way you used to. Can't make the same comments that you used to. You can't really berate people in front of people the way in front of others the way you used to. there's just a different culture, and I can't say whether it's a good or a bad thing. It's just reality.
It's just different, yeah. Because like I said, when I started working, I like pushing, good-looking women up to the forefront to sell things. That's just how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Good, bad, or indifferent. That's just how it was. And now, I mean, you got to think about it. Look at back then at The Price is Right. The Price is Right used to have the same thing where they had, beautiful women in front of the items, and then all of a sudden, if you've been watching like the later stages of Bob Barker, you saw the women like behind the items or behind the cars because it wasn't. It was a hostile work environment to push. I know, baby. It was a bad sell to push women. That boy is something else.
His Ric Flair impression.
I know, right? He's spinning in circles, like woo. It was like, all right, no, but it was like it's not kosher anymore to put the women with the tight dress on or the nice clothes in front of a car that you can win or a cruise like they used to have on Price is Right. It totally changed. So it's like I'm 37. And when I started working at 16. Like it was like that, even in fast food restaurants. Like my first job was fast food, but we would always put the nice looking girl at the cash register, just to have that nonverbal customer service type situation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. Now you try to do that now, like the not so good looking girl in second in command on the cash register gonna be feeling some kind of way. You're like, no, why you can't do that for everybody? That's just how it is now. So I get it.
Yeah. So as of right now, no one knows what the punishment could possibly be. Coming from the NFL, the NFL is probably going to do their own investigation. I know the Redskins. I keep calling. Oh God, it's gonna be hard to break this habit. The team formerly known as the Redskins.
I'd call them the Red Wolves.
Well, they're not officially called.
I love that name. I'm sticking with
I
it.
I love that name too, but I can't call them. I can't officially call them that just yet. But I gotta find some. The Washington Football Club. I'm gonna try to work that in. But I'm sure they're gonna do their own internal. Well, they already hired lawyers because, like I said, they knew that this article was coming. But overall, this article just reinforces a lot of what people already knew about the culture of that organization.
Right.
And at this point, Daniel Snyder needs to go. Period. I'm like, he may not have done it, but he's responsible for it because it's under his watch.
Under tutelage. Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, Applegate, she even noted that she'd be at her desk. Like they asked her, it was like, did Bruce Allen possibly know what was going on? And she was like, I don't see why he couldn't, because I'd be at my desk crying by the end of the day, at least 4 days a week, and he's only 30 feet away.
Right.
So it's just like
damn near everybody knew. I'm almost certain.
Yeah. There was one lady. She talked about the fact that when during the onboarding process, there was a veteran employee, female employee, that would tell them to avoid certain areas of Redskins Park, like the center steps that's like plexiglass clear and stuff like that, because it leads down to the training area. And one woman noticed she was walking and looked down, saw one of the trainers just like blatantly just looking up and following her at the same time. So it's just like, now you're talking about, now you're leading into the training staff, possibly players that could have been doing this. And whatever. But I'm like, it's not as, I'm like, there was other stuff that was hyped up on Twitter, and I know Bill's best advice that anyone could give while all this is going on: I'm just gonna wait until the report comes out. That's what he told me, and I agree with it wholeheartedly, because this article just only hit on a little bit of what was speculated about, because people were throwing Jay Gruden's name into it, which actually there's something alluded to a coach propositioning one of the female employees. So that may have been Gruden, but no name was mentioned there. So, yeah. But we do have that picture of Gruden with some chick. That is a fact.
We saw that.
He was bagging young women. That's a fact. So him being fired was just because before they fired him, that picture came out, and then he was fired. And so that's a fact as far as him courting young women, because I think one of the rumored links was that he had benched Capri Bibbs because they were banging the same chick. It was supposed to be his side piece or whatever, and that led to the game where the whoever was in that running back had missed his block, and that's where Alex Smith pretty much his career pretty much over because of that missed block. So
I wonder what when Bills dropped off. I hope he's okay. Yeah, but he dropped off.
Yeah, I didn't even see it, but
he dropped off. I don't know what happened to him.
Hopefully his internet just went out.
Oh, if he comes back, because he the one that want to do the Madden ratings. Because I don't even know what the big deal about that. I'm pretty sure you know better than I do.
Well, I guess soon as I can do a little bit of what I think about it, because to me, and yeah, okay. Overall, just to wrap up the Washington Football Club, yeah, their management is a bunch of scumbags, pieces of shits, and I hope Daniel Snyder sells the team to Peter Bezos so we can have Amazon own the team. We get a new stadium name, we can become the Red Wolves and move forward, because this shit is ridiculous.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna find out and see where he's at. Hold on 1 second.
All right, well, let's look at the chat while we're waiting.
Yeah, go ahead, hit the chat.
All right, so okay, what's going on here? So I'm gonna just start from the very beginning. I'll just see, and obviously I can't pull anything up. But,
I got you. Go ahead, I got you.
I know Quayface was like while we're at the beginning, he was like, what? He was like, yeah, what the hell is going on in Washington? Well, you just heard.
Right.
Pretty much everything.
Like a little bit of everything going on.
Yeah, including the lost seasons. I'm like, this was going on. Joe Gibbs was the coach of it. I'm like, I feel for these coaches. And, one thing I feel like Ron Rivera probably was in there was like, look, there can't be secrets in between us. Because, since he came in, all of a sudden they're changing the name. They fired people, this article. And it's just like, if Daniel Snyder sells the team, it's going to be like, Ron Rivera, man, just something. All right, and then see the Poster King. He agreed with my statement about Champ Bailey. He said Champ back in the day said that. Yep. So yeah, that was
another was like, how far along has this been going on? Because Ravens Nation said, "Why is this just coming out now? This isn't new." So how far back does this actually go? Do you know?
Well, they said there was a time period between 2006 and 2019. So this was ongoing up until people was starting to get fired last year. So there was rumblings of it, and the only thing that really came out was the whole cheerleading thing. The cheerleading thing, I'm like, all this was not new, but it was unconfirmed or rumored or whatever throughout this whole time period. Even, I don't think, because you got to think about it, 2006, if you think about how social media was, I'm like, teams could hide behind privacy before 2006. So 2006 is around about the time where now social media is starting to kick up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's barely catching on. So
right. So I would say 2010 is around the golden time when stuff would just like take off flying. Oh, Bills is back.
All right, I'm back. I don't know what the fuck was going on my computer. I couldn't control my mouse. It was clicking random shit.
Uh-oh.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? So then it basically just closed the whole session out, and then I had to restart my computer.
Oh wow!
I remotely hacked into your computer, son.
I know, right?
Jesus,
that's crazy. Let's see.
And just to say, there have been hacks on Twitter. There's been a lot of hacking going on.
I just made a video about that on my other channel. Like, what the hell's going on about that?
They said Russia is trying to hack our vaccine results. So it's
just like a little bit of everything going on, man. You got to be careful about the social media stuff right now. You about to be on your P's and Q's about just social media in general right now, because I think that was international or an inside job. You don't get past 2-step verifications on verified accounts like that. Something's up with that, but we'll talk about that behind the scenes. But nevertheless,
Damn, Noble done used that Rona joke 4 weeks in a row. Good
I
God.
know, right?
Wow.
Motherfucker wearing that joke out like he DL Hughley or something.
Wow.
Poster King says sex sells. Look at burger commercials. Yes, I agree. To this day, they still do, but it's kind of toned down. It's nowhere. Trust me, if you grew up in the early 2000s, all you have to do is just go on BT and watch the videos at 3 a.m.
Oh,
that BT Uncut. That's all you need to know. Back then, like sex selling was a big thing back then. From like 2000 to 2004, it was really bad. Let's see. Chris Thomas has a question. Who has it worse, the Washington Redskins or Nick Cannon? I think the Redskins have it worse. Nick Cannon, he lost his job. He'll be fine. Trust me, Nick Cannon will be fine behind what he said.
I think Nick Cannon has it worse.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think he'll be just fine, but I think with the string of it seems like because it's like the same lines as Deshaun Jackson, with the whole like anti-Semitism thing. But the thing is, it's like for me, I understand it. You don't want to get into anti-Semitism, but I also tend to look at the substance of the matter. I'm like, I could care less who quoted, but with Deshaun Jackson, there was some historical context outside of Hitler that part of
they
that
were mad that he told the truth, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he told the truth, but it was just
a bad
way that he worded it.
Well, it wasn't that he worded it. It was the fact that yeah, because Hitler didn't say that. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Hitler did not say that. That if he would have done more research, he would have realized that okay, this was said, but not by Hitler. That's
right. Ravens Nation also said Nick Cannon will be fine. He submitted himself and apologized. I think the problem with the Washington Redskins, like they're going through so much transformation, they're going to have to find a way to bounce back. Nick Cannon, I mean, he's already straight. To be honest, Nick Cannon don't have to do much at all to like evaluate his income. Like the Washington Redskins, yeah, they're almost $1 billion team, but still, it's like they're going to have to do a lot of transformation. Nick Cannon does not. That's why I think the Redskins are in a worse position.
I just look at it like this. You had Deshaun Jackson and Nick Cannon quickly apologize for what happened, but still Breonna Taylor's murderers are still out there and still free. So just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Noble said, I'm trying to be like the media, bro. Everything is the Rona these days. Shut up, Noble. Noble also says Nick is a scrub Knight's puppet. Yeah, that's another story I don't want to get into. He's not wrong.
What does that have to do with
it? Doesn't. That's why I said it. That's why I say I think he needs to he's not wrong, but that's a whole different issue right there. Whole different issue. No, I didn't send you the link, Chris Thomas. I'll probably send it to you when we get to the Madden ratings because he wanted to talk about that.
Shit.
Spec Pooh said Malcolm Jenkins didn't make it any better, along with Malik Jackson and Marquise Goodwin. I think the thing is, like, there are times where you don't need to say anything, and that's one of the times. I get it. It's like just because you have the platform and that platform has been uplifted, still, there's some things you don't. Just look at Dwayne Wade. You don't want to dig a hole for yourself when you already just we know what the deal is. You can say a lot by saying nothing. I'll just leave it at that. I think that's it right now. That Poster King, that's America. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I mean, he said, Noble, this ain't the place. Yeah, all right, exactly. Once you get into the Nick Cannon, Suge Knight situation, I mean, that goes way beyond what First and Framerates wants to talk about, to be honest. That is I get it with the, Nick Cannon and, that goes on with Deshaun Jackson, that goes into sports. But once you get into that, that goes out of the element that it's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down. I know about it, but you don't want to do that. Anything else y'all got on this topic or whatever?
We can go right into the Madden ratings. I know Pooh's in the chat, and I'll be on with him and let me see, what's her name? Real Eagles Mama tomorrow on her stream. We're gonna be talking about that the Washington scandal for a little bit.
I got you.
That'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. Let me see. Let me paste that.
Well, Mama Eagle. I keep on getting that backwards. I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I am too. Noble said Mariah left him, so he's done. You stupid.
That's probably the best thing that ever happened to him.
Chris Thomas, I sent you the link if you want to talk about the Madden ratings. Whenever you want to get in, let me know. Bills, if you want to start off, because I know you got a bone to pick with some people with these ratings as well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna destroy some people today.
Yeah, because
go.
The thing is, man,
hold on, I'll be back.
I don't like when people come out with the whole corporate bullshit answer instead of being realistic about their fuck ups and about the fact that there's certain shit that just doesn't make any sense when it comes down to these ratings. For example, Madden School, shout out to Madden School. They've been releasing a lot of, I guess, leaks, so to speak, about these ratings. And there are some that just flat out don't make any sense. And y'all know me. I'm not even talking about overall ratings. But you know what? Here's one thing on the overall ratings. They said that EA originally had Saquon Barkley as an 89. And because people complained so much, they boosted his rating to a 91. So
that's kind of crazy.
We can just complain and get ratings. All right, cool. Because overall ratings mean oh so much. Let's get into Saquon Barkley first, because this is the most glaring issue that I have with these ratings. I mean, whose wife did Saquon Barkley sleep with for this to happen? All right, so Saquon Barkley's rating is a 91. Why does this man have a 78 ball carrier vision?
Who has a 78 ball carrier vision?
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't followed any of these. I mean, I heard y'all talking about it, but I haven't had a chance to follow it. That's nuts.
I'll tell you why. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, it was like all them breakaway touchdowns he's had just from finding the right lane. You mean Tommy 78 though?
Wow. I'll tell you why he has a 78
Hate
ball carrier vision. He has a 78 ball carrier vision because they wanted Christian McCaffrey to be the only 99 as far as running backs. And I guarantee you, if you put his ball carrier vision up where it should be, somewhere in the 90s, he'd be rated the same thing as Christian McCaffrey. So because of that, because of their agendas, they have to lower and nerf people's ratings and give them ratings that don't make any sense. And then you get the game and you wonder why they're not playing the way they should or up to their abilities that mirror their real life abilities. And you find shit like that. Like 75 catching, for example, is what he got. 75 catching. A man that had 100 plus catches.
How many drops he had?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't make it relevant, but I'm just asking.
I mean, shit. He couldn't have had many. I mean, running backs notoriously don't really have many drops because they don't have as many targets. But I mean,
no, I'm just saying it's like there's not many drops in the world if you had 100 catches for you to have anything less than 85. Right. That's what I was trying to say.
No, I totally get you, but so that's the most glaring one that shows they're trying to pigeonhole everything that they're doing into their little agenda of, well, these people up here are the 99s and everybody has to fall way below that. Like, for example, the fact that I don't think there's another linebacker on the game that, or I should say another middle linebacker that's anywhere close to Bobby Wagner's 98, which I'll get into the 98 in a minute because that's another thing that we've discussed for years. Just makes no sense. If a guy's a 99, what are you making another guy 98 for? It's come on. So yeah, let's go over some of these ratings. So we're gonna get to X factors too because that's just a whole nother can of worms. So the first thing aside from obviously the situation with Saquon Barkley, the first thing that really throws me off is the fact that Rob
There's too much
Gronkowski.
Buccaneers in this podcast, bro.
Wow.
Hold on. It's funny that you bring up the Buccaneers.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about Chris Thomas with his avatar. Too much Buccaneers in here.
What's going on, Chris Thomas?
What's up with you?
Chris Thomas, I got a bone to pick, not with you, but with the devs for some shit they did with the Buccaneers. Why did Gronk retire and get more love than players who played last year? He's a 95.
Oh, now that is ridiculous. Now I ain't trying to be funny.
Last year.
I like Gronk and everything, but that's incredibly too high.
Rob Gronkowski retired and came back as the best tight end in the league.
Yeah, I can't co-sign that. That's too much.
In
right
that
there.
beta, his overall was a 53.
That's crazy. Now, and how long he's been out of the league? 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, that's too high. Now I can't lie. Now I like Gronk, but that's too high. That's
He's
extremely
the
too
highest
high.
rated player on their team.
Yep.
No, that's nuts, man. That makes no sense.
Well, and see, in my defense, I believe Levante David should be the highest rated player on the team. But
Well, I mean, he's a 90. Brady's a 90.
They can't talk about it. Whoever's doing the ratings, they can't talk about integrity.
Yeah.
Shit after that.
And that's what I'm saying.
That alone is egregious. Now I can't lie. That's too much.
And that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna get to the X factors in a little bit, but when you got people like Swami, I'm gonna call you out, Swami, because Swami's always been this metrics guy, this advanced analytics guy. Okay, well, tell me what advanced analytics you use from a guy that didn't play last year to get a 95, because I really want to know. You tell me that when players play regresses, they lose their X factors, which also makes no sense, because you can't tell me that a guy like AB magically forgets how to play football if he gets signed. Just because he's not signed to a team doesn't mean he doesn't know how to play football. Just because Juju had 3 different quarterbacks last year doesn't mean that he shouldn't still have double me. There's certain things that just don't make no sense to me.
That don't make no sense. I agree. That some of that stuff, that's ridiculous.
I mean, as I scroll down here, well, I take that back. Travis Kelce is the highest rated. He's a 97. Well, Merry fucking Christmas.
But still, I mean, Gronk being a 95
is the second highest rated.
Yeah, after being out of the league for 2 years, that's extremely too high.
Actually, I take it back. George Kittle's a 98. So this makes even less sense, because what's the difference between a 98 and a 99?
Well, I mean, you already know. I mean, who put it in the chat already? I saw it earlier. Somebody
gonna have a 99 rating on dress. What was he talking about?
He said, and this Ravens Nation, and with this new age casual media crowd, we just need to go to letter grades. I've been a big proponent of a letter grades for years.
Absolutely.
I'm big proponent of grades because I understand now. Okay, what you.
Man, VF, are you going in and out again?
Yeah, it is.
I probably am. I mean, I got my baby right here. I don't know.
Oh, so you're gonna blame him for it?
He's messing with the microphone. That's what I was saying. Bye. Where you going?
Oh, I thought you said hi, guys.
No, but,
he's waving, saying bye. Where you going?
I mean, some of this shit is just flat out agree. I mean, Frank Gore has a higher overall than Sam Darnold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bye.
I mean, and like I said, I'm not much into the overall ratings, but some of this shit just doesn't make any sense. I mean, so let's get into, a lot of people are mad. Stephon Gilmore is a 99. I don't know what they're mad about, but
yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that also, because I mean, he had a hell of a year last year.
So here's my thing, right? Khalil Mack, I think I said was a 97, right? And Aaron Donald is a 99. Khalil Mack technically had a better year than Aaron Donald. How's Aaron Donald getting 99? Khalil Mack not. You see what I'm saying? It's politics here. It's politics going on, and they just need to come out and say that that's what it is. Just say you're doing it based on a popularity contest, because there's no premise to how somebody gets a 98 versus a 99. You know the algorithm for how the ratings work. you know what ratings you have to change to up somebody's rate and shit. I know because I tinker enough with the fucking the ratings.
Or better yet, here's one: Buffalo Bills. I'm a big Stephon Diggs fan. I've been watching him ever since he's been playing for Maryland. But do you honestly believe he should be ranked higher than Tre'Davious White?
I'm gonna get into that in a second because we have some X factors to talk about.
That's a good question.
That's a real good question. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, baby. Pick that up.
Saquon Barkley had 52 catches on 73 targets last year. There's no need for him to have a 75 catch. I'm sorry.
Right, I agree. Now that's ridiculous.
Because he said 75 catch rating is justified by combining 18 and 19 stats from ESPN. I mean, based on what stats are you combining?
Wait a minute, and I thought the stats was supposed to be based on the previous year, not just not combined from the last whatever some years. I know you have historical statistics, but still, I'm like, then you look at just 1 second. You look at Frank Gore's rating. I'm like, just looking at his overall. You can tell towards the end they base it on the previous year's stats alone.
See, but this is shit I'm talking about. Noble says Mac is overrated. Okay, so a guy eating a triple team that has to stop the run and pass rush is overrated because your team is ass.
What was his stats last year?
I'm about to find him right now.
I mean, even if he was triple teamed, if he got double digit sacks, I mean that's incredible.
The fact that
Khalil Mack had 47 tackles, 7 assists, and 8.5 sacks. Getting triple teamed on a shitty team.
Yeah,
that was giving short fields every time Trubisky ran.
But here's the thing: the fact that he was being triple teamed should tell you something that won't be seen in a stat.
Not only that, if you get triple teamed and you have 8 sacks in a season, that is actually impressive.
In 8 TFL as well.
Because we've seen what happened when you leave them alone. I'm like, I seen that in the Redskins game.
I don't want to do that.
It was crazy.
Right.
That's why Jay Gruden got fired.
And that's another thing Ravens Nation said right here. Like, forget stats. You need to watch the actual games. They'll
right.
I agree.
Noble, where are you getting that from? His very first game on the Packers against the Packers, didn't he have an interception, a pick six, a fourth fumble, and a recovered fumble?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
come on, man, stop it, bro. You're one of them fans that take it out on the players on the team instead of taking it out on the organization itself. The people who are actually making your team relevant because nobody talked about the Bears before Khalil Mack was traded there. Like, let's not do that, bro.
MVal says the catch rating is justified combining 18 and 19 catch stats from ESPN, but I have no idea what EA based theirs on.
He's talking about catch percentage, but catch percentage is irrelevant, though.
Well, I mean, if you combine 18 and 19, because I don't know both, but 18 is lower, I get it, but I mean, I thought we were doing it from 1 year to the next, not 2 years.
That's what I'm saying.
But even then, catch stats to me. I don't like the catch percentage thing because we talked about that, about how they tabulate the drops. I don't like them. I mean, you know, if it's an inaccurate pass and it hits your hands, it's a drop.
Yep. Because let's say if a quarterback throws it too high and you try to jump the ball, catch a jump ball and it tips your hands, that's still considered to be a drop.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so if we look at Aaron Donald's stats, just for some reference, last year he had 48 tackles and 12 sacks. And he wasn't getting triple teamed all the time.
I mean, for Aaron Donald, for him to be a defensive tackle, I understand, but
they play him at end a lot sometimes too. But here's the main thing: 2018, he was a 99, right?
Right. I think he's been 99 for like 2 or 3 years.
So 2018, he was a 99. He got 20 sacks. How you stay a 99? You lose 8 sacks.
That's a legitimate question.
That's a popularity contest. Well, I think what my theory is, I think it's like 70% popularity and 30% stat base.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you do the stats from last year, there are a lot of people that are getting shafted, bro.
Wait a minute. MVal said 75 and 18 and 71 and 19. Why in the hell he's a 75 overall then?
That's what I'm saying. He's talking about the catch percentage. It's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, he shouldn't be. I don't think he could be a 75 I don't know.
Look at what Ravens Nation says. The catch percentage makes no sense to me unless it's a drastic gap. If you had 200 targets and only 50 catches, other factors still matter. What if your quarterback has bad accuracy? And the thing is, Saquon was used. Obviously, he always is used in a lot of different ways. But you know, a lot of those catches were probably contested, probably balls that were just thrown away by Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another reason for catch percentage. I think drops even carry more weight than catch percentage. I mean, come on. So yeah. Let's go to the X factors because this is where shit really gets funny to me.
Yeah, tell me about
Saquon
that.
isn't as fast
as he should be. Let me know what that's about too.
Oh yeah, I have a bone to pick with that.
So the X factors is really gonna be funny to me because you know, considering the fact that certain guys have the highest rating for something and then they don't have the X factor that correlates to it is very funny to me. All right, so the X factors. I don't want the Forbes one. There we go. All right.
Oh,
All
can you?
right.
Wait.
Yeah, let me send it to y'all.
Yeah, because I want to look at this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the some of the chat real quick. So go ahead and do. Inval says that I have to agree with y'all. A lot of EA does some speculative stuff with their ratings. Yeah, it's just some things just don't seem right. You know, and the most egregious is that Gronk one. That's way over the top.
Especially since in the beta he was a 53 overall. If we're just looking at overall ratings, and I think he had an X Factor ability.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
he had
either he had a regular superstar ability. I think he had a superstar ability, not an X Factor.
Yeah, he had a superstar ability. He had tank and red zone threat.
As a 53 overall in the beta.
Which they're gonna say the ratings weren't done, but come on, bro, you had the X factors done, so let's not.
Right, exactly.
Pete says Saquon isn't as fast as he should be, in my opinion.
No, not in the game. He's not.
Noble also said EA just give high ratings to. Shut up, Noble.
Noble is over here. Noble's over here airing out these Chicago Bears grievances, man.
He on that bullshit too. Well, what you was about to say, Bills?
All right, let's get into these pro reads. I'll just explain it. Pro reads for great quarterbacks, vision and anticipating are paramount. When they enter the zone, their first open receiver is highlighted, and they ignore defensive pressure. Okay. Couple things here. Just because you see a receiver open immediately doesn't mean that the pressure in your face means nothing. Doesn't mean you should be impervious to it. I mean, ignore defensive pressure. I mean, that could be an explanation for why certain throws were coming out kind of wonky in the beta. Because dudes, they're not affected by defensive pressure in their face, despite the fact they put a new engine in for that. Okay, whatever. Tom Brady and Drew Brees have this. I don't have the biggest problem with that. I think Aaron Rodgers should have an argument for that. I think that Patrick Mahomes should have an argument for that.
Especially when you have the gambler.
And what you're also going to notice the fact that they tried to limit how many people got certain ones, which I also think is bullshit. Because you know, they didn't do that in 2K, right? I mean, everybody that deserved one in 2K, they got it. Now they had tiers for it, obviously bronze, silver, gold, and Hall of Fame. But Madden just they try to act like they're making these guys more individualistic, but really what they're doing is they're making these broad abilities and then leaving them off of certain people.
You know what's funny about this pro read? It feels like it's more geared towards the user just understanding who's open.
Yep.
If you can't figure out who's open, then that's your fault.
Well,
you don't need a handicap for that.
Well, I have dabbled with some of these abilities, like pro read. It doesn't really even work. Like, it's helpful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it's like not the end all be all, because it may say, oh yeah, this dude right here, RB may be open, but yet you might see a post that's clearly even more wide open. So of course I'm gonna go for the post instead of the flat. So I mean, I don't.
But here's my thing. I'm gonna be on the fact. I mean, this is just consistently gonna be what I'm gonna harp on throughout this entire going over of the X factors. I'm gonna be on the fact that certain players are clearly gonna deserve this to make them, stick out a bit more, and they're not gonna get certain X factors based on this list. And I think it's ridiculous that they're trying to limit how many people get something that they clearly can do that defines them just because, this guy has it. Well, who cares?
Yeah.
Then every time you do an update, you take it away from somebody because, God forbid they didn't have 3 sacks in a game that you could fucking broadcast.
I got my little like I said, I got my little 2 cents with this X Factor and Superstar crap.
So let's get the bazooka. Everybody pretty much knows what bazooka is. You get 15 yards plus on a distance when you on your max distance, and you can throw the ball. Where's Josh Allen? Josh Allen?
Yeah, say what you want about him. He has a cannon for an arm.
We're not talking about accuracy.
He has literally the highest throwing power.
He has the highest throw power rating.
But yeah, he doesn't have bazooka.
How?
Yeah, now that's crazy. What is going on? You know what?
That's the shit. But that's why we're going over this. Gambler. Aaron Rodgers has it. Basically, when they enter the zone, they can't be intercepted by AI defenders and have increased throw speeds. Me and DJ have disagreed about this for a while. I don't have the biggest issue with it after having played against it.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. It was just like, when you first read it last year and people were just going crazy over it, I was just like, let's play against it. Let's see what it actually does. And it's just like, all right, he's in gambling mode. I'm like, it happened to me, and I was just like, oh, all right. You can still drop the pass. I'm like, AI can still knock it down. Like that would, in fact, after a couple of those, it would end the X factor altogether.
Well, DJ, here's something, because I've been on the receiving end of Gambler, but it's more context to it because I was in one of these leagues, online leagues, and one of the rules were that you couldn't user the defensive backs or the linebackers.
Or like you couldn't switch, or you just couldn't use those 2 categories.
Yeah, we couldn't switch, and we have to let AI determine whether if they can swat or intercept the ball.
Oh, god damn!
Wow, that's crazy.
Rules.
Yeah, I play some strict rules in my.
Yeah, that's great. That's one reason why I don't like
those rules are low key garbage.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's one reason why I don't like going online playing with people.
I'm thinking about that line out of The Dark Knight. These rules and where are they gonna get you?
But now, mind you, critical situation. I play my defensive strategy since I know that I want my defense to always go for the ball. Since I can't use or control my DB, so I'm gonna let them go for the ball. So down to 20. One of his rookie quarterback, now his 3rd-year pro quarterback has Gambler, and he throws it right straight to my safety, one of my top safeties. Tell me why he couldn't catch the ball. He only dropped the ball.
Of course he dropped it.
And then the next play, and guess what? He threw the ball again and made a touchdown. So,
wow.
But that's what me and VF called attention to was, well, shit. What's to stop somebody from just throwing the ball into traffic when they
can't get intercepted anyway?
Yeah.
But that's why it's a double-edged sword. If you're playing, if you're using, then by all means, I don't care about Gambler. But if you're in a specific playing rule set, you might get screwed.
Now here's the thing. I do agree with the fact that it shouldn't be 100%.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be 100% the AI can't pick off the pass. I think the chance of it should go down.
Yeah, I think the probability should be down. I definitely agree with that.
You do have instances where he, in real life, he has thrown passes right to a guy, and the guy just drops it. And it's just like, what the fuck? And then the next play, I'm like, that tends to happen in the NFL, but I believe the chances should be low. It should
be diminished. It should be diminished.
Like I said, trust me, DJ, I'm gonna tell you straight up. There's one X factor in this on this site that I do not like.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
I give you a spoiler alert. It's on defense.
So we got trust, which makes no sense to me, and obviously it was made strictly for Lamar Jackson.
Which is kind of crazy because you don't have that type of ability for any of the running backs in the game.
But that's what so we're gonna get to that.
Back up. When we did the other live stream, we did the gameplay reveal. We saw that, but we didn't know what it means. So what does it actually mean?
So it says most effective ball carriers prioritize maintaining possession over all else. When they enter the zone, no tackles made against them can result in a fumble. Lamar Jackson, a quarterback, is the only player to have this.
That's what I'm saying. And he's had fumbling issues.
Right, that's funny to me.
Don't get me wrong. Now, see, this should not be an ability or something.
This was purely marketing.
If you want to do something to differentiate players, I get it. But it's like this should be to all players. It can't be something just to one.
Michael Vick from 04 is scoffing right now.
That's because as fast as he was, you would dive untouched and you would still fumble in that game.
Right.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's just a Lamar trait because we haven't actually.
It is.
But I mean, what you think it's gonna also be like that on franchise mode? Because running back
they can unlock it, but I don't like the fact that they named it trust and then give it to a quarterback when it's something that fits a lot of running backs, like Derrick Henry. How often does Derrick Henry fumble?
No.
Yeah, for him to be a quarterback and him not to fumble, that's very odd. That's very odd.
I think you gotta run the ball 8 times just to activate that ability.
Well, shit. I mean, I activated in the beta.
You know what? I'm okay with the standard that you have, what you have to do to activate that. Run the ball 8 times. That's a pretty high standard. I mean, even though you could cheese the game to do that, but to run the ball 8 times, I can deal with that.
But my issue
don't have this ability for a running back.
My issue with a lot of these active X factors in general is the fact that they turn off mechanics that just, I mean, it's almost like saying, well, when LeBron gets into the zone, if he drives to the right, you can't block his dunk. What do you mean can't? Can't shouldn't exist. Do I have a lower probability of doing it? Sure.
Yeah, I say
can't. I disagree with that.
Like percentage based,
yeah.
Like they should say you have a 25 or 30% chance of you not fumbling.
I mean, it's crazy. It's like a quarterback. You're gonna run into a heavy hitter that has an ability. For example, we're gonna get to this later, but Bobby Wagner has an ability where if he hits you in the backfield, it's automatically a fumble if he hit sticks you. So what happens when Lamar Jackson runs into him? What happens then?
That's a good question. That's what I want to know. That's why.
Wait a minute. You said Bobby Wagner has an ability if he hits you in the backfield.
Jamal Adams too.
And Jamal Adams.
And if they hit you in the backfield, it's an automatic fumble.
If it's a hit stick, yes.
Automatic.
Yeah, another that should not be 100%.
So we're gonna get to this. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Blitz radar.
Let me do a couple of the comments real quick. Pete Friend says, why do I need the ability to throw further? It seems stupid. I think if the number rating warrants, I think you should be able to throw further based on the number rating. I kind of get it with the ability, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but I get what you're saying. But there's some abilities that should differentiate players, so I do understand that. Let's see, the fact that QB X Factor abilities were the best they could come up with, which is sad. Noble's talking about Lamar Jackson with his ability cover.
Well, let's go back to Pete Frenner real quick, because here's my question. Okay, you think about somebody like a Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he's been in the West Coast offense, so why wouldn't they have something where if he's throwing under 5 yards, that his animation speeds up more than anybody else because he's getting the ball out extremely fast?
That makes a lot of sense.
They act like they're trying to, and I just said this before, they're acting like they're trying to differentiate players, but they're really not, because a lot of these are broad things that many quarterbacks and many players can have. You're not doing anything that's really differentiating players. There are a couple in here, but they're isolated. They're not really.
It just seems like these are a bunch of player badges instead of just actual individual things that players can do.
Like,
and I totally get that.
Like for example, if you look at Lamar Jackson's like even superstar abilities, I can tell he's gonna be a problem.
Well, let's get to the superstar abilities because these are slightly better. The first one's Fearless. Says passers with this ability are immune to throw penalties caused by defensive pressure while their feet are set in the pocket. Okay, so
perfect sense.
I like that one. And Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Matt Ryan. Do y'all think anybody else should be added to that?
I'm trying to think.
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody else.
No, because it's not too many people outside of those three that are actually good in the pocket like that nowadays.
Maybe Pat Mahomes, but I mean, at this point, he doesn't really need it.
Yeah, that does seem like a ability that's with mostly pocket passers.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of anybody else. I can't think of.
I can't really think of
everybody else. Is pretty much.
I'll say Matthew Stafford.
Maybe, because he's had pressure in his face and made some crazy throws.
Right. Aaron Rodgers.
But Carson Wentz low-key has too. He's had some pressure in his face and made some crazy throws.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah, I give Carson Wentz that.
So then we got Hot Route Master. This one pisses me off too. Passers with this ability have access to 4 extra hot routes during pre-play adjustments. Why is Tom Brady the only person that has
this? That doesn't make sense.
Considering how the league works. I mean,
and especially now that he's on a different team.
I mean,
so that's a different playbook he has to learn, and without Madden's ability to connect players with different playbooks and how they should perform versus other offensive systems, I don't know about that.
Set feet lead. Passers with this ability have increased throw power on bullet precision passes made while their feet are set. Except on high low throw. Why Tom Brady's the only one with this one? Once again, I mean, Aaron Rodgers throws a lot of his bullets and doesn't float many. He should have that.
Matt Ryan is another one.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, he's another one.
Pat Mahomes. I mean, once again, we're talking about
Mahomes. You're talking about basically those type of abilities or superstar traits. These are for your pure passers in the league, and yeah, I'm with you on that. You have probably maybe like 3 passers that can do that.
Now, this is one that actually fits Tom Brady. Conductor. Passers with this ability can make all hot God, the freaking typos in this.
Yeah, whoever
can make can make all hot routes and blocking adjustments twice as fast, excluding audibles. I like that one. Tom Brady is probably the smartest quarterback in the league, so that makes sense for him to have it. Don't give it to anybody else until they separate themselves from the pack along with him. So that one actually seems like it's one that fits just for Tom Brady, I would say.
Now the question is, what rating is pretty much is that based off of?
I know that
awareness.
I would hope so.
It goes by awareness and the architect of the archetype of the quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's say if I believe Tom Brady is a field general.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
So if his field general rating is high, with his awareness, he should be able to get the conductor trait.
Right.
Okay.
Escape artist. This is another one that they got right. I mean, what are we like 2 for 15 at this point? Passers with this ability are faster and more responsive to user input while rolling out of the pocket. Kyler Murray, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Russell Wilson. I can't argue with that.
Carson Wentz isn't on this.
Carson Wentz is a candidate. I would even say Teddy Bridgewater is another one that's pretty decent with this.
Bridgewater's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I mean, we're forgetting Cam Newton now with some of these. I'm starting to think now Cam Newton has to be on there.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen can escape. Yeah, I would give him that as far as escaping. Now, as far as him throwing on the run, that's a different story. But he can move. He can move. I agree. He can move.
That's true. Quick draw. Passers with this ability have faster throwing animations when under pressure. Tom Brady, once again, needs to have this.
Drew Brees used to have this.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes. Russell Wilson.
Matt Stafford. Russell Wilson.
Matt's another one.
A lot of guys are candidates for this.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest,
and low key, Matt Ryan he can do it, but he doesn't do it enough.
And I'll preface these next couple that we're gonna name by saying Kirk Cousins does not get enough respect for his accuracy.
Don't let DJ hear you say that.
Look,
no. He's good with accuracy.
Yeah,
I had no problem. He just can't throw touchdowns.
Yeah, DJ hasn't really talked about his accuracy. Kirk Cousins, I mean, there was the game that I watched him have a shootout with Jared Goff.
Hold on, I'll be right back, fellas.
Yeah, because
Cousins is very accurate.
Yeah, because a lot of times if it's positive, I don't really talk about it as far as that particular person. Like everyone's heard me say this. My issue with Kirk Cousins has always been how many touchdowns can he throw in a season, and it's
26-6 last year.
That range is between 26 and I think 30. I think he hit 31. So it's just like him in the red zone in 2015 was probably the best you've ever seen him operate in the red zone. Other than that, he's been, and like I said, I compare it to the contract that he has, which he got an extension off of. And it's poor compared to the contract he has. All right, continue.
Dashing Deadeye, you pretty much can understand what this is. All throws under 40 yards, they basically get a bump up to perfect accuracy.
Why do they keep saying that except on high on low throws? I don't
know.
Oh, yeah, because they have a separate
modifier, I guess. So.
I think they have a separate do they have high, low Deadeye?
I don't
lofting data.
Yeah.
No. Except on high, low, and crossbody.
Well, yeah. So they don't have one for that, which is kind of weird.
Actually, they do. It's just nobody has it yet.
Oh,
no, but is it listed though?
No, it's listed. We're gonna get to that. They have some where no one has them, and I don't think anybody should have some of those that they actually list. I quite frankly, I hate all of them. All those ones. So, red zone Deadeye. Passers with this ability have perfect accuracy on all unpressured throws inside the red zone. Where's Tom Brady? I mean, anything accuracy, Tom Brady got to be there. It's crazy. I can't really think of anybody else. Russell Wilson's pretty accurate in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. No look Deadeye. You know what that means. Patrick Mahomes has it. He should be the only person.
Right.
Comeback. This is going to piss some people off. Passers with this ability have extended range on all unpressured precision passing from the pocket. Why does Pat Mahomes only have this?
Because Pat Mahomes, that's why.
I got a question, honestly. Like, is it gonna stay like this? Because like some of these,
they change it once a month. I'd say.
They change it around that.
Okay, I was curious because I don't too much follow these like that.
I have an issue with the fact we can't do it ourselves outside of online.
Yeah, that's an issue.
That's my main issue because they fucked a lot of these up.
Well, with that being said, even if you try to change the ratings we were talking about earlier, the ratings are going to forever be screwed up this way then.
Well, the ratings, because we can still do the ratings, but they should.
No, but I'm just saying, no matter how you fix it, no matter how you fix the ratings, these abilities are going to skew these ratings, no matter how well you try to fix them. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
Yeah, so it's like.
But my question is this: well, we don't have no actual NFL season this year.
Oh God.
Well, that's a whole nother can of worms I don't want to talk about yet. But you make up a good point though.
Let's pretend we are. Let's pretend we are. Anchored extender, while in the pocket, passes with this ability are almost guaranteed to break the first sack attempt by a blitzing defensive back. Where is Big Ben Roethlisberger? Did he magically forget how to shed a sack? Is he anorexic all of a sudden? Did he lose weight? What are we doing here? Just because he didn't play last year doesn't mean that's not something that fits him. Because when you're thinking about breaking Cam Newton, when you're thinking about breaking sacks, those are the two people you think of. You think of Cam Newton and Ben Roethlisberger. I just don't get this. Is Ben Roethlisberger going to be so OP if you add this for him? Like, really?
Good question.
This is shit that makes no sense, bro. Gutsy Scrambler. Passers with this ability are immune to throw penalties caused by defensive pressure while on the run. Where's Pat Mahomes? he has an ability that literally is related to this. And you see what I'm saying? Like, we're not even out of the quarterbacks yet, and this shit is already a shit show.
Thank you, Val. Passes with the ability to improve catch and rating for all running backs who are open on passing plays. The only quarterback that has that is Drew Brees.
Wow. Sleight of hand. Passers with disability have a higher chance of success on pump fakes. And didn't we just talked about Ben Roethlisberger? He had this at one point.
Are we gonna ignore the fact that Aaron Rodgers has one of the best pump fakes in the league, and has, and will continue to?
Hey, fuck it.
Pass lead elite. Players with this ability have increased throw power on bullet precision passes. I don't know, Pat Mahomes. You see what I'm saying?
You just named Pat Mahomes for like basically the whole superstar.
It's almost like okay. I'll go back to the badges in 2K. People got mad because Kyrie had basically every dribbling badge. I'm like, it's Kyrie Irving. If it applies to him, you give him that badge because he has the best handle in the game. Same with passing the ball.
The next level for this stuff should be tiers.
Yes.
I agree.
That actually literally should have been what they should have been working on. Instead of adding more, instead of adding more, like the trust they could do without, they could have added a gold tier, a silver tier, a bronze tier.
Kind of similar to what 2K basketball does.
Right.
And basically make it percentage based. Like if you would have said like trust bronze, Lamar could like not get fumbled like 15% of the time, and then go make it like what 30, 25%, 28%, or like well then that's gonna be kind of hard, like because with these physical superstar abilities, like how you gonna like balance that, like fast break.
Poster King, you cannot change them in the roster in 20.
Now unless you like individually go on like.
If you make a video and show me, I'll go and try it. But I'm pretty sure me and DJ have talked about this on the podcast before. You cannot edit them. You can edit them in the franchise mode.
Yeah, basically it. And you gotta do that the hard way.
Right, and you can't export those rosters out of franchise mode, which was a thing you used to be able to do.
That's another thing.
Oh, indoor baller. When playing in an indoor stadium, player with disability can easily enter the zone. The player who has this ability is Drew Brees.
The one player
he had it last year.
Drew Brees. Where's Kirk Cousins? Where's Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
I mean, clutch. Midway through the fourth quarter in close games, players with this ability can easily enter and remain in the zone.
It's like they focused all these abilities on all the marketable players.
Right. That's what I'm. That's
the pattern I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting as well.
Jukebox. Ball carriers with this ability have steerable juke animations, and Lamar Jackson is the only one.
So I mean, so that just goes to show you where where Madden is going at with this game. I mean, you got mid to lower tier players that could use some of these abilities based on how well they are, and, how gifted they are naturally, and they don't get them.
Well, let's get to the running backs. I mean,
but we hold on before you go to we kind of saw this with Deion Jones last year. Like Deion Jones didn't have nothing coming out of the game.
And he still doesn't have anything.
Exactly, and that dude's the freak of nature. No joke. Like, what are we doing?
Okay, so first one free. Some players thrive on making defenders look silly. When they enter the zone, this ability increases their fake out rate on the next juke, spin, or hurdle. Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook. I'm sorry. The guy with the highest juke rating in your game is Christian McCaffrey. He doesn't have this.
Wow.
Makes no sense.
Because Christian McCaffrey has ankle breaker.
Yeah, but
and he's the only one who has it.
But that's my thing is, it says when they enter the zone, they have increased fake out rates on spin, juke, and hurdles after the catch. But he should have it for both.
Then that's kind of I don't know how EA gonna. That sounds like Because you have two, then he has two X Factor abilities.
But he should. One's for catching the ball and one's for not. That's what he. Oh, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna put these in the game, you have to put them on the people that they apply to. No.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's not our fault that you put those in and separated them for catching and
like,
running the ball.
You can't just write a story and just put random people in there that have nothing to do with the story.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So those are basically all of the X Factor abilities, which means there are no X Factor abilities for trucking people, spinning on people, anything like that. There are superstar abilities, but ain't no X Factor.
Freight train are ruthless runners who refuse to go down first contact. When they enter the zone, they have the ability to increase their chances to break and tackle.
Break the next tackle.
Nick Chubb,
Ezekiel and
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. I'll take that. I'll actually take that.
Yeah. That sounds legit to me.
Yeah. Armbar. Ball carriers with this ability have more powerful stiff arm animations. Joe Mixon and Derrick Henry. Can I get a Le'Veon Bell? Can I get an Ezekiel Elliott? Can I get
wait a minute, hold up. I thought he had that ability last year.
Who?
Ezekiel Elliott.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
How's he lose it?
It makes no sense. Balance beam. Avoid stumbling when carrying the ball. Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, and Dalvin Cook. But hold on.
Saquon Barkley.
How about your highest rated running back?
Again.
I mean, some of this shit it makes no sense. Here's the worst one. Here's the worst one yet. Bruiser. Ball carriers with this ability have more powerful truck animations and stiff arm animations. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom while y'all think about it. I'll be back. Y'all just let me know who fits that. I'll be back in a couple minutes, and y'all just ponder that.
Yeah,
that's Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Adrian Peterson,
especially Adrian Peterson. Come on, I'm like,
who else? Zeke, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
you got a good bit of them, and they're not even getting talked about. I don't know. It's just something wrong with this whole thing. I think like what Ravens Nation just said right there. He said just need to take them out. Case closed. Just like get to that point, like we don't need them at all. Just forget it.
Or maybe rethink them.
Yeah, I'm more to rethink them side because I mean there's a good idea to have them in, but it seems like they're not doing.
I would figure they're because I know a lot of these abilities are supposed to trigger specific animations. I know that's the mythology with 2K when their badges, they're supposed to unlock certain animations so specific players do specific things when they're either in the zone or they have that ability. Versus players just do regular stuff like regular jukes, regular whatever, and then when a specific player unlocks this X Factor or whatever, then they can do specific jukes. And I remember that was actually based on ratings alone when they did the whole skill stick thing originally,
right?
With the modifiers and whatnot. So what are we doing here?
And then now these two are a doozy. Reach for it. Ball carriers.
Oh boy.
Ball carriers with this ability will frequently attempt to gain extra yards while
But hold up. Didn't they market reach that and say that players will now be more aware where they are in the field? But you have an ability with
DJ. But they can reach for it frequently.
All right, I'm back. Where we at in this shit show?
Bill,
Reach for it.
Ball carriers with this ability will frequently attempt to gain extra yards while being tackled. So, players with this ability, Nick Chubb and Ezekiel Elliott.
So,
oh God,
this is. Oh my God.
Bill, I was just saying, didn't they just market this as players will have, not just for this ability, but just for the fact that players will be doing this more often because they'll be more procedurally aware where they are on the field.
Yes.
but Bill, but like I said, it's more frequent.
Yeah, but why is it more frequent for them than Christian McCaffrey, who did it in their trailer?
Be honest,
he's not even listed on here.
Right.
Be honest with you. I think like the whole RB1 should have reached for it.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out this a question like it's not. I don't even think that's an RB1 thing. I think that's just a running back thing. Like running backs naturally reach for yards regardless.
That's not even just running back. Like any ball carrier thing.
Right. Exactly.
That should be, and I quote what the developers say is supposed to be rating based.
Right. Yep. There you go. Exactly.
It should not be inability. It should
like
be
like DJ said, everybody who runs the ball naturally does, especially if they're close to a first down or the end zone.
Right.
So like, everybody does.
They went through and explained it. They was like, not only does the ball carriers know where they are on the field, the defenders know where they are on the field. So if a ball carrier all of a sudden just wants to reach for it,
well, listen,
then the defender be like, "No, you can't reach for it."
Right.
Let's get to something that they kind of took from All Pro Football, which is Energizer. Ball carriers with this ability will replenish a portion of their stamina upon successfully performing any skill move. Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook, but the guy who has your highest skill move rating isn't like just so inconsistent.
Man, actually, new game chair. I'm about to fall out of it.
Actually, Energizer was actually an ability in Mutt like a couple years back, and that is kind of glitchy because if you successfully make a juke move,
it really shouldn't be in the game at all.
It really replenishes health.
It shouldn't really be in the game.
But here's the thing: it says successfully performing any skill move, so it doesn't have to involve the defender getting juked out or anything.
Well, maybe
is it just like performing it? And
no, it really has to say like user something, either user spin.
Oh, okay, so it is.
But it says that when you pull it off, regardless of whether it works or not, though.
I think that should be based on if you take a hit and bounce off of it.
Okay. Look at Leapfrog and tell me what player should not be in this name.
Which one?
Leapfrog.
Le'Veon Bell should be on there.
But who should be out?
Who shouldn't be?
Ezekiel Elliott? Is Ezekiel known for hopping over people?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he does.
He's not known for it, but he can do it.
Yeah. He's done it a bunch of times. Yeah.
I can agree with that.
He should be on. I think there's a couple people they can add, but I think he should definitely be there. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to the real funny shit here.
Oh boy.
Right, so we do remember going into this that Christian McCaffrey's a 99, right?
Yep.
And we also remember that he had 100 catches. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Backfield mismatch. Running backs with this ability have better catch and traffic and route running when coming out of the backfield against linebackers and linemen. Yeah, Saquon Barkley and a fullback.
Kyle Juszczyk.
Like I like Kyle Juszczyk, all right, but come on, Alvin Kamara, no love.
Right.
James White, no love. Tariq Cohen, no love. Come on, fam.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Tank. Ball carriers with this ability will break almost any hit stick tackle attempts made on them. Oh, another one they actually got right. Leonard Fournette and Derrick Henry.
But I have to see that in action with that one in the zone play.
That should be just high hit stick animation because you still have high hit stick, low hit stick.
And here's the sad thing, DJ. They had this in Madden 08. If you tried to high hit stick certain guys with
you'll bounce off of them. Yep.
Right. If you tried the low one, then you would have a better chance. Right. I don't think anybody should be able to.
Even the game instructions, who the high people in Madden 08.
Here's another thing that I suggested for Derrick Henry. If you want to make Derrick Henry different, you should say after a certain distance past the line of scrimmage, you can't hit stick him because you really can't.
Yeah, because what would that be? Because it just seemed like everybody just
call it down.
No, but it's got to be something that expresses fear in defenders' eyes. Like what? I'm like, you would think that would be something like Freight Train, but doesn't he already has that?
I think you should call it something like downhill, where if you try to hit stick that dude, you're just gonna bounce the fuck off. Even if he doesn't try to trigger a truck animation, you're still gonna.
Yeah, because he does have Freight Train as an X factor, but his ability should be what name would express fear? Like all of a sudden, players will automatically do a conservative tackle.
Well, because here's what's
or a conservative tackle would be instead of an aggressive tackle. Like people are less aggressive trying to tackle.
Derrick Henry's not really like Earl Campbell, where even if you meet him in the backfield, like he's still destroying people. If you can get him before he gets up to speed, you have a better chance of tackling him. That's why I would say something like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Like
that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then go from there. But no, they're too smart for that.
Yeah, because you look at those playoff games with Derrick Henry, it was just like you could hit him or kind of touch him, but he gets 5 yards, like the 5 yards downhill, and it was just like nobody wanted to even try to tackle him.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the definition of downhill running back, you know.
Yes.
Okay, backfield master. You talk about contradictions. When lined up in the backfield, players with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes, better route running, improved catching against linebackers and linemen. You just gave Saquon Barkley something for basically a backfield mismatch, but Christian McCaffrey gets this one and not the other one.
I don't know.
Let's move to the next one. Playmaker. Receivers with this ability are granted immediate and precise reactions to playmaker inputs. We still haven't seen Alvin Kamara's name anywhere.
So this kind of overrides, like, if somebody has better agility and change of direction, then possibly Christian McCaffrey.
Well, I think this might correspond with his agility and change of direction, plus his route running. Probably.
No. I get that. I'm just saying, you know, as far as the quicker, and more precise reactions, it's just like, oh, somebody could have a higher rating and know theirs than he does.
Then you got second wind. Players with this ability have a chance to replenish their stamina once per play when it's half depleted. So you're telling me that Ezekiel Elliott, who clearly gets stronger as the game goes on, doesn't get this?
Nope.
I mean, it's certain things. It's just like, do you watch football at all? Josh Jacobs gets this. Come on, man.
Matchup bulldozer too.
Yeah, I know, right? Matchup nightmare. Oh, look, it's Alvin Kamara.
Better late than never, right?
Right. Receivers with this ability make sharper cuts and frequently win contested catches when covered by linebackers and linemen. So something that they just had that was similar to this, he doesn't get it. But this one, yeah, that's the right one for you. And Christian McCaffrey somehow doesn't fit this, and Saquon Barkley, who had one before, doesn't fit this. All right, cool. Running back apprentice. When lined up at running back, players with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes during pre-play adjustments. Christian McCaffrey doesn't get this.
But Alvin Kamara get it.
But Alvin Kamara gets it. Now everything's just his, pretty much, right? Closer. Players with this ability have reduced zone objectives in the second half. Derrick Henry. Once again, where's Ezekiel Elliott? And if you just said that Josh Jacobs replenishes stamina in the second half, why would he not also be a second half running back that it takes less to get in the zone with? It's just like some of these things make no sense to me. Jukebox. Ball carriers with this ability have steerable juke animations. And guess who didn't get this?
Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, practically any elusive back.
Nasty Street. Blockers with this ability will frequently attempt and win impact blocks against linebackers and defensive backs when playing as a lineman or a fullback. I'm sorry. Aren't fullbacks supposed to be taking out D-backs anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is this ability?
Because he's a fullback.
And apparently the only good fullback in the league because he's the only one that got it.
And I can tell you right now, this ability is very glitchy. Like,
yeah, I've seen it in action. I've seen it in action.
Because if he hits a linebacker or a DB, that's an extra 5 to a touchdown.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, we're finally to the receivers. Jesus Christ. Double me. Aggressive receivers overpower defenders and attack the football. When they enter the zone, this ability increases their success rate on aggressive catches against single coverage. Now, can you look at this list and tell me one person that doesn't belong, please?
Wait. What rating are we at now?
Double me.
Okay, so we're on receivers.
One of these guys is not like the other.
Hold up.
First name Adam, last name Thielen. Adam Thielen's Mossing dudes? Am I missing something here? Travis Kelce, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, and who else do you think of? Well, obviously Adam Thielen.
Right.
What the fuck?
Oh, wow. They are missing what's the dude from the Saints isn't on here.
Mike Thomas. And just for reference, people. Just for reference, yes, if you have 3 different quarterbacks in a year, yeah, we're talking about you, Juju Schuster. You go from being literally the person that they branded this one after in their EA Play event to not having it at all. So, yeah.
Wow.
Apparently, teams shouldn't double you anymore.
Let's look at some of the chat real quick. Let's see. I don't know which ability this is, but Pooh said, "How does Zeke not get this?" And he said, "And the ratings guy is a Cowboys fan."
Oh shit.
He also said, "Why did Alvin Kamara didn't? How did Calvin Kamara didn't get jukebox?"
That's funny. Is half the ratings have screwed over, his own team.
Right. So, Ravens Nation said the rating guy isn't a fan of any team with these ratings.
He doesn't watch any team with these ratings.
And he also says fire the whole building.
From what I'm told, or from what I see, these rating adjusters are formal NFL players.
No,
they did that for marketing.
Yeah, that's marketing.
Yeah,
no, that's not the case.
Because I think Christian McCaffrey's old college teammate Barry Sanders Jr. is a rater adjuster.
No, but what I'm saying is basically these devs, they've shown this before. Last year, I can't make this shit up. Before Mohamed Sanu was traded, they went to a Falcons practice and saw this man throw the ball in practice. And they put a wildcat formation in the Falcons playbook just because they saw Mohamed Sanu throw the ball in practice. I can't make this up. These were the ratings adjusters that we're supposed to be subservient to as far as these fucking ratings and X factors.
And that's the thing. The Falcons don't have a wildcat formation.
Right.
They literally have
the Bengals had that formation because you want to know why? Because he threw a touchdown pass.
See, that's what I'm saying.
The Bengals played the Redskins. This was like a few years ago.
He did that with the Falcons too. He did it with the Falcons. He threw on the Julio Jones. The thing is, they actually have the actual playbook is him playing quarterback. There's no wildcat formation. It's just him playing quarterback on the field.
And here's what's funny, VF, is like, you know who else watched him throw the ball in practice? His fucking coach, and he didn't put a wildcat formation.
See, that's what I'm. See, that's what
felt like they can put a wildcat formation.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't have the Falcons don't have a wildcat formation. What it is that play is a regular play. Even Matt Ryan would run it. It's just him at quarterback, right? Yeah. It's like I don't know what that's just asking. I don't.
I'm gonna skip through some of these receiver ones because. I mean, y'all pretty much know what these are. I mean, there's a couple of glaring omissions, but this is actually one of the better ones that they've had, one of the better sections. I mean, there's nothing really overly egregious. I think Amari Cooper could have got a little bit more love. I think Devontae Adams deserved a lot more love. But overall, I mean, for the receivers, that seems to be the only thing they ever get right. So I can't really be too mad about it. I think Julian Edelman should have got one for short route running instead of intermediate, but the receiver ones aren't too bad. Linemen, do we even want to go through that? I mean,
no.
Yeah, let's get to the defense.
Oh boy. So where you want to start off at?
Unstoppable force.
I'll be right back. I gotta go.
Okay. Elite pass rushers are a mix of strength, speed, and tenacity. When they enter the zone, this ability increases their win rate and block shed speed against one-on-one pass blocks. The people who got this were Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa, DeMarcus Lawrence, Cameron Jordan, TJ Watt, and Danielle Hunter. Where's Shaq Barrett?
Amen.
Where is name any top pass rusher?
What is this again?
This is unstoppable force. So basically, they said they're a mix of strength, speed, and tenacity. When they enter the zone, their ability increases their win rate and block shed speed against one-on-one pass block. Basically, any top pass rusher.
Grady Jarrett was pretty good in my opinion.
Where's Chandler Jones?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of weird how they got these things jacked up.
Fearmonger. Some pass rushers intimidate quarterbacks with their sheer presence. When they enter the zone, they can apply significant pressure on quarterbacks, even while engaged with their blockers. You mean somebody like Khalil Mack and, I don't know, Aaron Donald, who's your fucking 99 rated defender?
What does he got?
He has a bunch of superstar abilities.
Yeah, and what I don't get that. I do not get that.
He's a 99 and he doesn't have X factors. He has superstar abilities.
I do not get, and that's what I don't get. I'm looking like you have a 99 overall, but yet you don't have Fearmonger, Restless, or Unstoppable Force. Like hell.
Reinforcement. The game's top defenders excel in all situations when they enter the zone. This ability increases their chance of defeating run blocks and disrupting catches via tackles. You mean somebody like Tyrann Mathieu? You mean someone like Jamal Adams? You mean someone like Keanu Neal?
Oh, well, don't worry. The next one, Jamal Adams got all hands down.
Oh, this is what we're talking about. Here we go, VF. Avalanche. There are tacklers, and then there are these guys. When they enter the zone, any successful hit stick made while running towards the line of scrimmage will result in a fumble.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. What the hell is going on?
Oh, now here's my rant. So this shit is okay, but we're not good with film study. What kind of backwards logic is that?
Blitz. Effective D-line captains aren't just examples to follow. They're motivators. When they enter the zone, all opposing blockers have their resistant bars wiped out.
Wow, that's some MMO type.
That just sounds crazy.
So you're telling me just because this man is on the field,
all of a sudden the nebulizer, like they forgot everything else throughout this.
That's fucking hilarious.
This is what
like forget what you just witnessed for the last 20 minutes.
Momentum shift. Momentum shift players demoralize their opponents when they enter the zone. All of the field opponents. Oh, I don't even know how.
Basically, when momentum shift is activated, if somebody else is like
So basically, everybody on the opposite team loses their progress towards their X factor.
Basically, yeah.
Why would Chris Jones be the only person to have that? Why would Chris Jones be the only person? Wouldn't any elite pass rusher have that?
Hell, even Bobby Wagner could have had that.
Okay, shut down. I actually agree with this for the most part. When they enter the zone, the coverage is tighter and interceptions are more frequent on contested catches. As long as you don't bullshit me with those animations, I'm good with it.
Oh,
White, Tyrann Mathieu, Richard Sherman, Jair Alexander, and Stephon Gilmore. I think Ramsey should be there.
Bottleneck is also bottleneck. The defenders realize that the best way to stop the route is to act early. When you enter the zone, they're highly likely to dominate the win on man press encounters. The only person
Stephon Gilmore has the highest press rating in the game,
but
he didn't get that.
But Jalen Ramsey got that.
Holy fuck! Zone hog defenders lock down a part of the field. When they enter the zone, this ability increases the rate of catch knockouts and interceptions while in zone coverage. You mean somebody like Harrison? You mean somebody like Jamal Adams? You mean somebody like Earl Thomas? You mean all the top safeties in the league, basically? Okay, cool.
And Richard Sherman also.
And Richard Sherman too.
They need a social distance ability for Richard Sherman.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Jesus Christ!
Shoot, I would have that ability for Josh Norman.
All right, let's start.
the 6 foot rule.
But now VF,
that or the toast ability.
Now VF. Now remember when we said Avalanche gives you an automatic fumble when you hit stick somebody. Now what we didn't tell you is that the same two people who has Avalanche also has Enforcer.
Wow. Wow.
That don't make no sense.
Just to make sure they can knock the ball out. They can
Right,
knock
it's
the ball out
like
in the backfield and
Wait a minute, I'm
5 yards down the field.
I'm looking for Enforcer. I thought they got rid of it. I don't see it.
No, it's in the bottom below lumberjack.
Hold on. I'm looking for it. Hold on.
I put the wrong game
Strip
in.
specialist.
Lumberjack. Where? I don't see it, bro.
Are you on Madden School?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Oh God, they do.
Wow.
And they gave it to somebody else. Well, okay. Granted, Harrison Smith had it last year, but what the fuck? Why is it still in the game?
So, like,
And now your mic is
Yeah,
going
he
out.
bought it out. Yeah, I was about to say you got to say that again.
He's about to expose him. He's like, nah, get him out of here.
Right.
yeah,
No, you
Now
still
you're
botting.
still botting out.
What the fuck? Why is it forces still in
How
the
about
game?
Blah, 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 blah. That's what you sound like.
It's like you're underwater.
Wow, what was that? It sounded like you jumped in the water.
Yeah, you
Bro, yeah,
botting.
we can hear
Yeah, you
everything.
might need to back out and come back in.
Bro, but the fact they still have Enforcer in the game, I missed that. Holy shit, bro.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
there
crazy.
it is. It says X Factor abilities that no player currently has. High, low, dead eye. That's what I was looking for. Nobody.
We're gonna get to that in a second. Trust me, we're gonna get to that in a second.
Wow. They need to. Okay, all right.
Okay, mid-zone KO. Defenders with this ability force more catch knockouts and react quicker in any midfield zone coverage. Less than 20 yards from the line of scrimmage inside the numbers and 10 to 20 outside. Where is Deion Jones? For anything coverage that you're going to give the linebackers, where is Deion Jones?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you
we
sound
can
better
hear
now.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like for a second they were starting to go after Bills.
I think EA was trying to like shut me up.
Where's
Right.
Deion Jones, man?
So, like I said, now here's my rant. So I guess the Madden community is cool with Avalanche, but y'all not cool with film studies.
And they cool with Enforcer.
And you're cool with Enforcer. So you are okay with guaranteed hit sticks and a guaranteed fumble, but yet you bitch and you complain about, oh, I don't want people to see my little 3 schemes. Oh yeah, and
remember, Enforcer was literally glitching dudes in the position to hit sticky too.
yeah,
Pretty much.
Like VF, all you literally had to do is user the Enforcer, click off,
Press the
and
button. That's it.
Oh, that's crazy.
and I'm talking about it's an automatic guided missile.
See, that's the thing. This is one of the reasons I haven't played much of Madden 20 because I don't know too much about this stuff.
And then on top of that, you already had Heat Seeker as a handicap tool.
Now, here's the one thing I'll say. Now we don't know if they're gonna fix these X factors or allow us to do it ourselves. Here's the one way you can kind of alleviate Enforcer. I'm gonna give you all a little trick. If you go to the roster, you have to put the hit power for whoever has Enforcer way down, and then you have to go to the traits and you have to turn big hitter off, and then it'll play normal. But if you don't, do that, it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be just utterly just terrible. They're gonna hit stick every time. And they're gonna play it every time.
And just also for you little whiners who are talking about, oh, film study this, film study that, y'all still have Omaha. So y'all can have it on offense, but you can't have it on defense.
Yeah, Right, let's get into the ones that aren't in the game. Let's get to this.
Oh, the ones that no player has.
Yeah, no player has, but basically that means they aren't in the game as of right now. Jedi. Accurate passers know that ball placement is different between. Wow, this is horrible. Accurate passers know that ball placement is the difference between a touchdown and a turnover. When they enter the zone, Jesus.
All high and low passes are thrown perfectly accurate.
See, I don't have the biggest issue with that, but that should definitely not be a superstar ability. That should be an X Factor.
No, this is X Factor.
But so these are all just X Factors.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, this one is the X Factor ability that nobody.
I'm telling you.
So I have no issue with that.
Okay. Run and gun.
Passers use a combination of mobility and aggressiveness to make big plays. When they enter the zone, they have no, they got to take that out. Take it out, but not give it to anybody. Yeah.
Brick a wall.
While in the pocket, passers with this ability are almost guaranteed to break the first sack attempt by any blitzing defender. That's bullshit because that means I can put my controller down and it'll break the animation.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, their logic for not having these things, for not having any of these players have this, so far, I agree with it. But then you have other ones that make no sense.
You know what? Reading Omaha and then the first sentence.
Like I said,
Elite.
Hours
Also, film study.
When they enter the zone, they have full vision of the secondary's defensive coverage before the snap. People had issue with that, despite the fact they can audible whenever they feel like it.
Right.
The fact, but no, automatic hit sticks are fine.
Oh,
what's going on, Goop? Goop coming in a little late. Well, that's what's up. What's going on?
What's going on?
Oh man.
This
is just
Moss. I don't even describe that.
Needs to leave. It needs to just go.
I'm glad Moss doesn't. Just take that out, bro. Just take it. Wrecking ball. Wrecking ball runners don't avoid contact they're created when they enter the zone. Their disability increases their success rate on the next 3 trucks.
Next 3 trucks is
only one guy that should have that, and that's Derrick Henry. And I don't even think he's
okay. So this is the ability that it was already in there. That's the ability that that Derrick Henry should have. Wrecking ball. That is definitely.
Oh no! Wait till you get the Vanguard. You're gonna really flip your shit on this.
Grab and smash. Not all receivers need fancy footwork. When they enter the zone, they have an increased success chance on stiff arm and truck attempts following the catch. See, I don't agree with nobody having this. I think this is actually a good one. And you notice that they use for this one increased success chance. So why is it chance for this one, but other ones it's not a chance? It's an automatic. That's
all right. Before we get to Vanguard, just note that for all you guys that get Madden day 1, make sure you save that roster day 1.
Yes.
Because it's already out there that
I'll be right back, fellas.
When you go into franchise, having that day 1 roster is probably the best time to get some form of normalcy in the franchise mode. Other than that, you play with any updated ones. I know they have the one. They do have the option where you can use the first day 75-man roster, and it kind of but yeah.
Now Vanguard, we saw videos of this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Vanguard players are the reason running backs thank their blocks. Oh my god, I can't deal with these fucking.
In the post-game interview,
I can't deal with these typos. Not even typos. Just like they think they're blocks. They think they're blockers. When they enter the zone, they're nearly guaranteed dominant impact block wins. So you remember last year where you see these linemen just running over guys, just one after the other, one after the other. It was Vanguard.
Wow.
Yep.
Selfless.
When selfless players are making plays, their teammates are motivated to perform better when they enter the zone. All on-field teammates enter the zone as well. I think that a select few people should have that, but I think it should be in the game. Now, there's one caveat to that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you have zero progress towards the zone, you shouldn't. Now, if you have any progress towards getting in the zone, you should. But if you don't have any, you shouldn't be able to automatically go into the zone. I think that should be the caveat.
Right.
Hold on, fellas.
Gotcha.
I'll be right back.
Universal coverage. This is another one they complained about.
The most physical coverage.
Good.
Okay, the most physical coverage defenders prevent catches from happening even when their target has hands on the ball. When they enter the zone, they are nearly guaranteed knockouts. Okay, so you have a nearly guaranteed versus other stuff is guaranteed stuff. Why don't we just make all the others nearly guaranteed?
It's like they have 3 tiers. It's like I don't get why they don't like. People wonder why these are unbalanced, and then you see that certain ones have a success rate increase, others have a guarantee, and then you have ones like this that are nearly a guarantee. So
well, I mean, not only that, I mean, when you really look at the whole situation, it goes to really tell you how really bad the Madden ratings are on top of these abilities and superstar and all this other stuff and X factors. Something's really screwed up with the system.
All right, so now we're on the superstar abilities that no player has.
So Homer, when playing at home, players with this ability can easily enter the zone. I don't know why nobody has that.
You would think that would be an automatic for every team that plays a home game. They would have some type of, well, except for the Washington Football Club.
But here's my thing: they want to look at stats and things like that. Why don't they look at guys' home stats versus away stats? They'll easily figure out who they can give that to. But they don't want to do that. They want to leave it out, even though that's one of the best ones that they would have here because that would be
that's funny. That's an advanced analytic.
Yep. Passers with this ability receive better pass blocking from their offensive linemen. Why is this not a thing? There are quarterbacks that elevate the play of their offensive line. Tom Brady, Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Human joystick, we're not going to go over that. That shit doesn't belong in the game. Wide receiver apprentice, when lined up at any wide receiver position, players with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes. Why would this not be in the game? Why are you taking these things out? Like,
no, I knew this. The wording of it is that it's being taken out of the game, but no player has it right now. It's not on a player at the moment. So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't like how they felt like this didn't fit any player. I mean, come on. Slot apprentice. When lined up in the slot, players with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes during pre-play adjustments. Once again, I don't know how you could not think of a player that fits. Ball carriers with this ability have steerable spin animations. We're talking about spin cycle. I can kind of do without that one, but since you have one for every move, I mean, you almost have to have one for spin cycle, don't you?
Yep, I'm back.
So I mean, overall, a shit show, a complete shit show. That's
what
X factors are, a shit show.
And that's based on the rosters that they have right now. Obviously, all this could change before launch, just to put that out there. But still, overall, the premise is that this is just not.
Disrespect to Deion Jones.
Hey guys, I'm on my Twitter, and now here's something. Like, remember we were talking about that what these adjusters needs to like make up their mind of either having career stats for ratings or yearly stats for ratings.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy on Twitter, D Blake, said on Madden 21 ratings, Darius Geis has an 81 overall, but Miles Sanders has an 80 overall.
Like, what differentiates them two? And I would put Miles Sanders because Geis has been injured for the last.
Exactly, and he played like this in his career. Geis only had 42 attempts for 245 yards, 70 receptions, and 79 yards with 3 total touchdowns. But Miles Sanders in 3 weeks made more than that.
Well, let's get to this thing. This is really my issue with the ratings. We've asked this for years. What is the difference between a 98 and a 99? What is the difference between a 94 and a 95? What is the difference between an 89 and a 90? There is no difference until you start putting these artificial bullshit thresholds in the game where once you get to a 90, all of a sudden the guy can cover his zone. All of a sudden he reacts how a run-of-the-mill player is supposed to react. Once he gets to a 95, he reacts like a superstar. Once he gets to a 99, he reacts how he specifically is supposed to react. It makes no sense.
Then what's the purpose of reaching a 99 if the threshold is a 90?
Bro, it makes no sense. Why is the threshold of 90 for positional ratings as far as zone coverage is concerned in order for players to literally play the way they are supposed to play in zone? That means the coverage is broken for anybody under a 90? That's insane.
Yeah.
It's shit like that that makes no sense because you can't tell me there's that big of a difference between a 98 and a 99.
It really isn't.
And the sad part.
I don't know what Optimus was
What did he say?
living it.
Now you're going in and out.
That'll be it.
Oh, EA's trying to shut you down. Yeah.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I was just saying I don't know what Optimus Goo was talking about, but he said they're saving that for next gen, so I don't know what it was. I thought that was.
It had to be.
Shoot, I saving this ass whooping for next gen.
I'm stupid.
I just these guys, and here's the thing, right? This is where we can all bring it full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all spent all this time on these X Factors and still fucked them up. But y'all ain't touch franchise.
I was thinking hashtag fix Madden franchise.
Did y'all see the leak for the yard?
Yeah, we talked about that last
we
episode.
talked. Yeah, we
No, I
brought
thought
that
that
up.
they had another leak for the yard.
Oh man, what's the leak?
What's this?
Like they actually show like kind of snippets of what the yard. So basically, how people kind of speculate of the yard being like the 2K My Player type model is basically that because you get to customize your avatar with their equipment, visors, gloves.
That you know what? That takes a lot of resources to be able to do.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying in my video about the yard. Like they did a lot of dumb stuff, man.
I swear they be sitting up there making statements with their hands, with their fingers crossed behind their backs, like, "Oh, we recommit the franchise."
No,
Fuck
you
out
don't.
of here.
No, you don't.
Mode.
I mean,
You're telling us we gotta wait for franchise information. Let's think about that.
and evidently, the cat's out of the bag. I mean, we all, and what I say about when somebody leak, it can't be a leak because if it was a leak, then EA would like move heaven and earth to get rid of that. So I mean, somebody gave it to somebody and say, "Yo, here, just put it on your phone or whatnot and say that you quote unquote leaked it." But
they need to leak some franchise updates. They want to leak some shit. Leak that.
I'm actually really curious of what they're actually going to put in franchise mode because I think they're going to do something with it, but I have no idea what it is.
They're going to put the yard as a playable mode in franchise mode against the CPU. That's what they're going to put.
And they're gonna take out practice mode. That'll be the new practice mode. The yard.
Or I think if they are gonna do something with franchise mode, and this being me being optimist, that they're gonna probably do it for next gen since we kept on bitching about it. Well, not even bitching.
Something. I just think they're waiting. They're really waiting to tell us. I think they're gonna do something for this gen.
If they don't put anything that influenced me to other than that doesn't influence me to watch over how I play my players during the franchise, then and I'm talking about wear and tear. Of course, this is something since they did probably haven't thought to even work on, would not be able to put it in this year for this gen or next gen. I'm probably not going to be interested. I'm like, yeah, it's good to have dynamic adaptive AI, but if doesn't mean anything as far as when they go to draft players, when they go to make trades, and when it comes to the injury system where I can't manage my roster through those means, and not to mention that there's no immersion with the whole league. None.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main problem with it. That's the main problem with franchise. I think a lot of people will accept franchise mode for the way it is if it felt more immersive. I mean, if it feels so bland, it just feels like you point, click, and play a football game. It doesn't feel like I said, you don't feel like you own the team. You just feel like you're just there.
But I mean, the thing to me is that teams don't even change when you play them once in the season or later in the season.
Right. At least with 2K, these teams, they defense change on the fly based on what personnel you have on the court, let alone what team you playing.
And then I think one thing me and Bills talked about, and we were at first we were going back and forth with, was how the adaptive AI would work more on All Madden versus All Pro. And I was playing. I had re-downloaded 2K on the PS4 because I wanted the attention to detail rosters because there's none on the PC version.
Right.
And I put it up to Superstar mode, and the difference between playing on All Star and Superstar, it's more in your face about what the computer is trying to do to stop your star players, whatever system that's in place. And thank God they have the systems in place that the computer can select from, to like hedging pick and rolls, to doubling off the pick and rolls, to how much pressure per player that they want to apply on somebody. And yeah, it's more obvious on Superstar mode than it is on All Star.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the one thing, like with Madden, they need to get rid of like giving the computer the super cheat to break 1,000 tackles and mulch your player. Which, like, bro, I don't get. Like, you can have your number one corner on like the sorriest wide receiver, and yet that sorry wide receiver will moss your like 99-man corner. Like, just because you change between All Pro to All Madden, there has to be a balance between. Well, it doesn't mean he needs to be a balance. It needs to be rating based, but just enhance the play calling.
But I think what makes it so bad with Madden is, on All Madden, they pick and choose when they do that shit to you. Because like the first 3 quarters, unless the game's like out of hands, yeah, they'll just let you have a ball. Then the fourth quarter comes, and your guys are dropping passes they shouldn't drop. Your quarterback is taking control of his fucking accuracy. You throw a slant, he throws it towards the middle of the field.
Yeah, which is
like way over the guy's head and shit. It's crazy.
And
yep, and you're right, Post the King, ace.
Yeah.
Ace.
That's crazy. I don't know. It's like, I think at the end of the day, I think Madden's gonna be all right, but they just find so many ways to just not make the game enjoy. Like, we have to work hard as some people to make the game enjoyable, and
right? Which is
it's not cool
crazy.
at all. Yeah, it's really not cool at all.
Yeah.
What else y'all got? Y'all got anything else y'all wanna?
I have one thing, and I wanted to bring this up because I know when I advertised the show, I did throw in WNBA. So, Elena Deladon put out an article, and basically what's going on with her is that she's trying to figure out whether she wants to play this year, because the WNBA and the NBA are in the bubble in Orlando.
So WNBA is down there too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're down there too.
Okay.
And she already has a pre-existing condition with her Lyme disease.
Oh, yeah, right.
She's been and she pictured how many pills she takes per day to be able to, fight through that. Not to mention earlier in the that last season in the championship, in the playoffs, she also had 3 herniated discs. So it's like she was dealing with that. But the Lyme disease was the main thing that complicates her decision as far as whether she wants to play in the upcoming season with COVID and all. And she's gone through the process where she's had her personal doctor say, I think it's too dangerous. The team has sided with the doctor. The team doctor basically just punted and was just like, okay, well, we'll go with what your personal doctor says. But the league denied her opt-out request.
Oh, wow.
And basically what it was, opt-out, where she would be able to be, because of her pre-existing condition, she would be able to opt out but still receive her pay for this season. So the WNBA, the league itself, they denied that request. So she was left with the decision of whether, okay, she still hasn't made that decision as of yet. She kind of screwed herself as far as like, she said she wouldn't appeal the decision by the WNBA, so she kind of screwed herself there.
Right.
I think just in the last 24 hours, the Mystics already stepped up and said they're going to pay her.
Oh,
which, to tell you the truth, I don't think it should have been up to the league in the first place, but it does make the league look bad because I'm like, somebody who has a pre-existing condition is a higher risk factor, especially in Florida where cases are spiking the way they are.
right.
You already have players popping up with COVID-19 positive results. They're in the bubble that had to isolate themselves. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like even in the bubble, like this is becoming a nightmare with that. With you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I have my issues, and I have my thoughts about the virus itself and living and functioning with it. But from a business and PR standpoint, you don't want your fans going around thinking that these guys out here just playing with this virus. It's just a nightmare. It's not a good look from the outside looking in. Like,
and then
you got some people out here that are literally terrified of this virus, and it's not going to sit well with them watching players play like that.
And then on top of that, I'm like, I know you, as far as this is concerned, you're not really supposed to differentiate between your star players and your regular players, but she's one of the main stars in the WNBA.
Right.
And this is how you, it's just like, and Bills will laugh at me at this one. It's like the NBA protecting Michael Jordan and possibly secretly suspending him, but not calling it, letting him
right
retirement. How the NBA was able to protect its star player for a year and a half versus the WNBA not stepping up and saying, okay, yeah, you know, this is serious, you know, whatever, go ahead. We'll allow the Mystics to go ahead and pay you. They just basically like, no, that's between you and the Mystics. Like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I'm glad that the Mystics did, and I kind of figured the Mystics were gonna be like, yeah, we'll pay you whatever decision you make. We understand what you mean to the team, and it's just that the team understands what she means to the team and the league, but the league doesn't understand what she means to the league. So It's just like, yeah, that to me, I felt like that's a bad thing for the WNBA.
It's a bad look. I agree. Poster King says she's the star of the NBA. Yeah, like pretty much. You know, like when you have somebody as prominent that have issues or get sick, it kind of changes things on how they want to run business. Do I think it's fair? No, but I mean, sometimes money is money, so they kind of like not want to risk it. And that's what I said. Like me personally, I mean, I know it's kind of unpopular, but I don't have a problem with people living their lives with this virus based on the numbers. Like, go out and do what you do. Just be careful around people. But when you look at the perception of the majority or even if it's 50-50, a lot of these people aren't comfortable with people being out like that. And you don't want to, as a business, you don't want to put that perception out there because you'll lose half of your fan base. I mean,
well,
just don't want
the other part of that, and this keeps creeping up, and I think in a normal situation we already understand what it is between the NBA and the WNBA. As a league, the more money you make, the more you can pay your players. But she puts it out there. It's like, look, I don't get paid. What her counterparts in the NBA get paid.
Right. See, they can fall back. These women, they just can't. They just.
So it's just like, at least she's not advocating. At least she's not saying. What she's basically trying to say is what you just said. Is like, look, if I was making NBA type money, this probably wouldn't have been an issue, but I don't.
Right. So it's because she's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, trying to play, and really can't because her medical condition.
And you know what? In Poster King, that is true. The ladies do make way more overseas than they do over here. Yeah. So that's the crazy part. And it's funny because if you ever seen the movie, let's see, For Love and Basketball,
right?
How Sanaya Lathan's character, they basically had to go overseas to really do anything professionally, basketball wise. So yeah.
Yep. I don't know, Bills. You got any thoughts on this? Is Bill still there?
He had it.
I mean,
don't feel bad. I was eating too, bro.
Wow. I mean, honestly, I think the Washington Mystics intended to pay her the entire time. So
that's what I thought too, honestly.
For her to come out and act like she was going to have to choose them, like, you weren't really. The WNBA just pretty much wasn't going to sign off on the Mystics having to pay.
I mean, for the most part, the WNBA do pretty good at PR. So I kind of see them. There was
shit, there ain't much PR for them to...
Wow.
It's true. I mean, there's not much PR for them. I mean, that's their fault to an extent, too.
Well, Bills is right, because I said it earlier. The WNBA is not making as much money as the NBA, and there's a reason for that.
Yep. No, let's not get in that because
we weren't, but I'm just saying it is what it is.
I mean, you remember before COVID, that was actually one of the big issues for the WNBA. They were like really big into trying to get
that's what Bills and I have, that same energy. We both said it then. You're not making as much money, that you need to blame the marketing, PR, and I'm like, the NBA maybe a little bit because it's supposed to be a partnership, but still, not. I'm like, you don't draw as many. I'm like, the women don't draw as many seats, but
it's almost asking like the AAF was asking the NFL to bail them out.
I mean, they have to find. I mean, look, you could probably find the stats on this, but I mean, how many sellouts do they have in these NBA arenas?
No, there's zero. I ain't trying to be funny.
So that's the thing. So when that is your situation as a league. There is no revenue for you to get as far as there being more revenue. There is no revenue. They have to keep this league up and running. I mean, shit, I guarantee you the commissioner's not even living lavishly.
I'm like, the first step was the new CBA they signed. That's actually the first. Yeah, that was the first step. But beyond that, beyond that, you can't really do much if you're not making much.
Yeah, that's true.
And the thing is, they've been able to play overseas for years. Their contract allows that.
Bills, you getting tested in the chat, bro. I'm gonna put it up here. Bills, he said, "Have you ever played a WNBA girl? They're skilled, bro." Like, I don't think anybody's denying that. I mean,
wait, but
I've
when
played.
Do we talk about skill?
Wait a minute, hold on.
I don't think nobody's denying that.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to sit here and say this. I have in my past played somebody that could have been in the WNBA. She was really good. I never lost, because at the end of the day, there's an advantage that I have, and I used it all damn day. That was strength.
But it's more than that, though. It's like, who brought up skill?
That's what I was saying. Nobody's taking away that, even though that we probably could beat a WNBA girl in basketball, that doesn't mean that they can't play. I mean, I just find it funny that that's what he went to.
Yeah,
when nobody addressed the skill. We were talking about the money that they generate and the money that the league generates.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about.
Because here's the thing: the WNBA is a good brand of basketball, but it's not an exciting enough brand of basketball to make money.
Wait, who's mocking them?
Hey, he said the way you mock them.
What did I do to mock them besides all the facts? I said look up the stats for how many sellouts they have, and then VF was the one that came and said, "Well, shit, 0."
Damn, you trying to throw me on the bus now?
I'm not trying to throw you on the bus, because you probably told the truth. I mean,
they really. I don't think they had not one sellout.
I mean, look, Poster King. If you think I'm mocking them, then why don't you go look this up? Why did they themselves move the Liberty out of Madison Square Garden? Am I mocking them by stating those facts?
And why are there no more Houston Comets?
That's what I'm saying. So don't talk about me mocking them. Nobody mocked them. I didn't have any type of crazy tone in my voice. All I said was that those are the facts. I mean, you can feel about it however you want to feel about it.
And the Houston Comets were like the first of the champions in the WNBA. And they no longer exist.
Right.
And it's all financial at the end of the day. Can they put butts in the seat? Can they generate enough revenue? And right now, the answer is no. Not enough to be at the level to get paid like the NBA.
Nobody said anything about their skill level or talent. There is no doubt that they can play basketball, and any regular Joe Schmo is gonna get their ass kicked if they play some of the top echelon players in the WNBA 1-on-1 or whatever it may be.
They wouldn't have put together the league if they couldn't play.
Right. I don't know why that was even like a topic to begin with.
I mean, a lot of them are actually really skilled. I mean, it's nothing to take away from them. It's just,
I mean, you're not gonna see high flying dunks and all that shit. But I mean,
now, Pete, I'm not
Pete trying to get the he trying to get the.
Wait, that's what Poster King acted. That's what Poster King acted like I said. He acted like I said some shit like that.
Hey, Poster King, you may need to go after Pete.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one you want to go after.
The situation, bro. The facts of the situation are.
He's halfway joking, so he's 50% laughing.
But I mean, yeah, that's the reality of the situation, bro. They don't generate enough money, and I said blame the league, which is true. Blame the league, blame the marketing team.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Is the league itself is the one that has the problems with actually generating revenue. It's not the fact that they don't do or don't deserve equal pay. I mean, you can't ask for NBA max contracts when you only fill in like 30% of your stadiums.
And also, Poster King, do your research, bro. The league was actually more popular back in 2000 than it is now.
Yeah, I will agree. There was a lot of excitement of the WNBA back then.
The early 2000s? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They were filling out regular arenas like for playoffs, not like, just a championship game, just a game 7. Like, no. They were filling those arenas out for the playoffs, like throughout the playoffs. Like
I'm sitting there, I was like watching the Mystics go on their championship run. It was exciting because it was a local team, but it was just like I could tell that it wasn't as exciting as it would be if there were more people in the stands. I'm like, even for a championship game, closeout game, there wasn't that many people in the seats.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I mean that's basically what it is,
Look at the U.S. women's soccer team.
Man, you talk about who deserves money versus the men.
They're one of the best. Well, I'm sorry. Let me walk that back. They're the best women's soccer team in the world.
Right.
It's not even close.
I agree.
But he said, I think we do that to women.
Well, I'm not getting into that.
Who's we?
I'm not doing that. You got that, Bills. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
But I'm just like.
You see, I'm quiet.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Chris. I'm right there with you, bro. Like,
I mean, look, bro. If you want me to be 100% honest with you, the reason why a lot of people do that shit, you want to know why? Because you got WNBA players saying shit like they should get paid the same as men, or they are just as skilled as men, and we all know good and well you put starting 5 of NBA All-Stars against a starting 5 of women's, it's gonna be like abuse. It's gonna be fucking abuse.
Well, if you
they're gonna get dunked on, they're gonna get bumped out of the way, they're gonna get abused.
Well, if you played NBA Live, that wasn't happening.
I know, right? But that's what I'm saying. So, but I didn't want to bring that up. You're bringing up what people do as far as perception and mocking women's sports, but it's because some of them come out and speak above their skill level compared to men, and that's really what it comes down to. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think is fact, but at the end of the day, there's no woman that is the best at something. I mean, Serena Williams and Roger Federer. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah, we did have this.
Yeah, we did.
Ronda Rousey and John Jones.
Ooh.
See, that Serena Williams comparison, it's more possible.
Yeah, she's as close as it's gonna get.
Right.
But you put Maya Moore and LeBron James in a game of 1-on-1. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. We're not mocking them. Me and DJ didn't even get close to that, so I don't know where I came from. But in general, that's why, because people look at it and they say, okay, these women are coming out and they're trying to make it seem like they're as good as NBA players, as exciting as NBA players. But then when you get down to it, that's just simply not the case because the numbers don't lie. And that's why people I mean, shit, nobody was mocking Ronda Rousey.
And you know what's funny? Now that I think about it, because Pooh puts in the chat, Serena Williams is a fucking alien. I'm like, she is built unlike any other but it's like people find it impossible in The Last of Us 2 for Abby's character to be built the way she is.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy. I'm like, you have the best. Well, I think she's past her prime now, but Serena Williams being the top tennis pro in the shape that she was built more than Abby.
This is all I'm gonna say. They ain't have to show Abby getting her cheeks clapped like that. That's all.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. VF, you didn't get to that part yet, didn't you?
It's no big deal now.
See.
Oh wait, you didn't get
exactly.
That
That's what I didn't think.
Damn.
I mean, it's all right at this point. The game's been out for 3 weeks now. I kind of deserve it.
I haven't even played the game yet.
The game's been out for 3 weeks now.
Fault, bro.
Yeah, the game's been out for 3 weeks now. I kind of deserve it.
Damn, I thought you. Damn, my fault.
I haven't streamed it, man. I haven't streamed it.
That's
on the rap.
That's why I told him when I put out that article. I told him not to read it.
Damn.
Ouch.
It's
all good. Ain't no big deal.
Well, now that I said it, yeah, they ain't have to have her getting her cheeks clapped like that. I was like, I was turning on somebody's stream, and I saw it. I'm like, wait, is that? And then I just turned it off. I was like, nah, bro, I'm not doing this.
Right.
Oh my god.
Nah, it's all good. ain't no big deal. What else y'all got, man? I'm good, man.
That's all I got.
We must touch everything and a little bit more. I'm still debating if I'm gonna go to work tomorrow, man. I don't know, man. I might go. I might not.
It's your wife's birthday, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, I'm really like signing on. I'm like 98, 99.9% saying that I'm not going.
That Coke will get there some way, bro.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Wow.
All right, man. What you got, Chris Thomas?
I had a good time. Good time discussing these Madden ratings. I also had an interesting day today looking at a certain YouTuber.
Yeah, why did you do that?
Because
wait, who is this certain YouTuber?
I forgot the dude's name. I just every time I see him, I know.
Yo Mama.
Oh, that guy. Fuck that guy.
But no, okay. So I think after I got off the podcast with you 1 week, I was listening to the Sim Stetter podcast, and Sim basically said I didn't want to talk to because I guess Yo Mama tried to want to conversate with him on.
Oh, that fucking idiot!
But Sim declined. I mean, and Sim declined like in a respectful way, like, yo, dude, I don't really know you. I did my research, and I heard some things about your character. I don't know if you were like you actually fronting like that, or
he's a bitch, basically.
Yeah, and he simply like declined the man. And now get this, now Yo Mama was on the chat because even Sim said he's in the chat. But this week, matter of fact, I think he streamed yesterday, but he uploaded it on Facebook, on YouTube today. And he was basically calling Sim, like bad mouthing Sim, like, oh, Sim was just scared to get on the all
right, all right, you got it. Yeah, I was scared. Whatever, the fuck out of here.
But then, like an ignorant person, he not only bashed Sim and Smitty, but he also said something about the Sim community. Talking about some bullshit about the devs should be. I can understand why the devs feel about these Sim players. They don't know what they want.
He already lied about what one dev said, so fuck him.
Yeah, but
he eats boogers though.
The man basically was just like, man, tried to tell Sim that Clint wanted everybody to meet with the comp players, and that's not what Clint said. So
man,
I know is just like,
the thing, man. When you get these light skinned niggas, all right, and they get that they get that. No, Chris Thomas, you're gonna have to take the bullet for them. When you get these light skinned niggas They get that beige rage going. Y'all ever heard of beige rage? That's the beige rage he got going.
Oh boy.
And he get to talking. You know, the light skinned niggas getting their emotions, start listening to Drake. That's him. So yeah, just don't even entertain that dude. I didn't even know what his name was. You say yo mama or shit.
Yeah.
Mama.
But my whole
thing, isn't he a Trump supporter too?
Oh, shit.
So yeah, we're just gonna, yeah. I was looking.
He might as well be. He lies and emulates what Trump does.
But my thing is, you're saying one thing about a community that's trying to help. Is basically trying to take the Wild West out of Madden, because let's all keep it a buck. It is the Wild West and Madden. You can practically do or make like glitch out or do anything just to win or just to run 3 plays. Like, my belief is there should not be metas in a football game. This is considered to be a simulation football game. This is not a casual football game. This is not a competitive football game. This is considered to be a simulation. So if it's supposed to be a simulation, I'm expected to be simulation.
Look, I told him all you need to hear on Twitter. I said, technically, they said they make a sim game. Y'all comp niggas shouldn't even exist. Period.
Obi just said, maybe I'm late in saying this. He was like, what's good, fellas? I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that light skin shit.
Hey, look. Y'all all got to take an L because of that sorry nigga, bro. All right? Just because he worked in the house pitching water don't mean he's any better than other motherfuckers. That's all I'm going to say.
And watch out, Obi-Wan get you locked up.
I'm a light-skinned dude myself, and he give my people a
bad name. A bad name.
I mean,
fuck that nigga.
I mean, like, well, like, come on, like, we all grown men here. Like, you don't have to like put smut on another man's name just because he declined you. Like, you, man.
Maybe he's just mad because his mama's a smut.
Oh. Wow.
Wow. On that note, I had a pretty good time. I had a pretty good time.
I was like, nah, fuck that nigga.
I had a pretty good time.
Oh boy.
That's that beige rage.
Oh man.
What about you, Bill? What you got?
Don't entertain anybody name your mama because he's probably just mad about his mama. Thank everybody for coming through. It's been fun roasting the hell out of these X Factors and the ratings. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank everybody for coming through.
That's what's up. What's up, DJ? What you got?
Well, again, I will be streaming around midnight when the Ghost of Tsushima comes out. Hopefully you guys come through, enjoy. Wow, Pooh, come on, the spelling, come on. He said by Ghost of Tsushima. What the fuck?
Bro, what?
Your brain.
That's
what I'm saying.
What
the hell is this?
Tushimura.
Your public education failed you miserably.
Go by Ghost of
Oh God!
At least he's being honest. He said he tried.
He was looking of a dictionary. That's what
he was looking at the menu for his Chinese food restaurant down the street. And type that shit out because
I think Spectacular Pooh was trying to say Gran Turismo.
That was a spectacular L. He just damn spelling.
Don't worry, Pooh. I won't mention it when I come on Real Mama Eagles stream tomorrow. I won't tell them about this
like Obi-Wan
spelling error.
Spell check is your best friend,
and so is Google.
Yo, Ravens Nation, trust me, I'll be posting a roster. So
I mean, Ravens Nation. I mean, that's one thing about the community itself. A lot of guys do pretty good rosters. I mean, Bills do some. A couple other guys I know do some. You don't have to resort to these bullshit rosters EA Sports put out. I mean, you just don't. And so, I mean, that's a good thing. So,
and one more thing, article for the Last of Us 2 review. It's on my site, dj81.org. Go check it out. That, and also there was one missing article that I had from WordPress. I also put that out. That was about the 2K servers. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Gotta do special things for the wife. It's her birthday, so as for me, I'll be around. Probably put some more content up on the channel. If anything, I may stream again Saturday night, and Sunday night we're gonna be doing NBA Live 95. So
man, we need you to finish The Last of Us 2 so we can have a spoiler.
Yeah, I'll do it whenever, man.
Yeah, get to Abby getting them lips split, bro.
Yeah, I'll do it whenever, man. It's just the game to me. Honestly, the game's just not entertaining to me anymore. So.
And we already know, and everyone already knows this, the character Neil Druckmann.
I mean, just to be quite honest, like the game, it just didn't keep me entertained anymore. It's just, I don't know. I mean, but I do need to finish it though, because I just need to finish.
Yeah,
it.
You need to beat your games.
I beat my games. I just haven't beat that game. But nevertheless, hey man, appreciate everybody coming through once again. You know, if you want to play us back here, that's great. Tell a friend and tell that friend to tell a friend. Also,
Boo, you don't need to start talking about what anybody needs to do. You need to go brush up on how to spell Tsushima. That's what you need to go brush up on. You're trying to tell anybody they need to do something. Go ahead, Leo.
You can catch us up on Google and iTunes, SoundCloud as well. You know, if you don't want to listen to us on YouTube, you can download us on those platforms as well.
He still spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Yo, we'll be here all night, bro. Just close it out. Oh my god.
Oh.
All right, y'all. Y'all be good, and we will see y'all on Tuesday. And then I'll be on here on the channel later on this week. All right, y'all. Peace.
Go to touch your mama.